And welcome back to our first D&D stream again
It
of
is.
2024.
Yeah, it's the first stream.
Yeah, I get the pleasure of throwing my campaign in first.
Yeah. To morally conflict some players and in general, and then for others to try and remember what the heck happened.
Yeah, that's
It's
always
true.
a struggle.
We did not play this campaign in December. I didn't feel comfortable DMing it from a distance. It just wasn't going to work out.
No.
So it's been a month. On the note, what does everybody remember?
Nothing.
I forgot my notes. So
What?
this will be fun.
No way.
Am I the only note taker tonight then?
I think so.
He's got the memory of Manny.
She's got the memory of man.
Steel trap.
He's already in character.
Yeah, already there.
Let's see.
I
So
want to see what you guys can remember without my notes.
I think I
Edie
remember.
infiltrated the guard. She became guard duty while we were seducing the two bodyguards of the two righteous. I keep wanting to call them the white cloaks of this.
There's a paladin and of
And
some
the-
sort of, or a
They were
cleric.
two clerics.
Yeah, they were.
So they were two war clerics of the Divine Five.
of the Divine Five, and then there was the main guy from the Rangers Guild who hired them to interrogate the prisoner Yehan.
We killed him.
I forgot. Did we get to that?
Well,
Because then we
I was gonna
have
say,
to
you're
wait.
talking about stuff from 2 sessions ago when you guys tricked them in the tavern. That was 2
That's
sessions
right,
ago.
okay.
Remember, this session started off
we
with
went.
you guys
combat.
emerging from the tavern in the morning, and all of the
Yeah.
all of the rangers were marching towards the southern road because the giants had blockaded the entrance to the Yew Forest.
Yep. And then, so we told the giants to hold tight, don't hurt anybody. We went the opposite way to get
We went to the
the
Rangers Guild.
the one guy that I don't like. We went to go talk to him, but there was like a locked door, and so Sal and I went upstairs to find the keys, and I still felt like it was an awesome idea to open up a wardrobe that I knew was magically like locked. So I picked the trap, got the lock like deactivated, and then still opened the wardrobe like an idiot. So we had to fight something there.
A banshee.
Yeah.
It was a Bodok,
Some
if
creepy.
I
Bodok.
correctly remember the name. I'll double check this with Google.
And then we went and we finally got to the guy.
Well, the whole time we were upstairs, Manny kept bull rushing a door. That's what he
The
spent
whole time. Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, it
He
looks-
heard
There's
noises.
like large bangs
Yeah.
in the cellar. That's right.
Yeah, you were showing.
Oh yeah. I sent a picture of the group chat at the time, but that guy.
Yeah. Banshee-esque to me. But I
Banshee-esque,
know
yeah.
Bodok's probably specialty. Whatever. Anyhow, didn't it insta-drop
Yep.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Poor
It did.
Constitution save or poor Constitution roll, instantly downed.
Yeah. And then who stepped in to save the day? Sal.
Finally.
Whatever, finally. I'm always healing you guys. I'm not even a cleric.
And then you guys went down to the dungeon.
I
with
think-
the key.
Didn't Manny break through the final door?
He was trying to.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
we used the keys.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going at it, and then y'all finally came down. And then we decided we would open the door as I was going to charge on in
Yeah.
and see what would happen after we.
Yeah.
After
You guys,
that,
you
yeah.
guys got jumped by a bunch of shadows in the hallway.
Yep.
I think somebody got their strength sapped, but I think it was like one of you two where it didn't matter.
Yeah. It was like... And then it was the actual fight with Yehan.
Which lasted probably the 90%
majority
of the session.
majority of the session.
Yeah.
There was a dog that was pissing me off because it kept teleporting everywhere.
Black dog?
Yeah, it kept teleporting everywhere, and it was doing just enough to the party that I was like,
I have to kill it.
"Yeah, I have to kill it." So I remember that was a contention for me, or for Sal, I should say. Outside of that, we did eventually win the fight. It was a little bit of a struggle bus, though, I think. I think several of us got down during
Yes.
different parts of it. Let's
Multiple
see.
downs. I think almost everybody went down at least once.
I went down like at least thrice, so there's that. And then we searched his body, or Sal did. I don't remember if Sal announced or showed the letter. I think she did, but
it wasn't the letter; it was a journal.
Oh, journal. Yeah, journal.
And I think I actually
it's Edwin's
deciphered
journal.
it.
So it's not Yehan we were fighting. We were fighting Edwin.
You're fighting Edwin, saving Yehan.
Saving
Yehan was unconscious,
chained up
in the middle of the room.
Yep.
And you guys threw a bunch of healing magic into him, but he never really came to. He was alive, and he was conscious and stable, but like he just never came back from unconsciousness.
He did though, because at one point I think you had him say thank you to me.
At the very end,
Yeah.
Yeah, once.
But I mean,
not during the fight.
yeah,
Like he
even
wasn't
then,
able to
he
help.
couldn't-
in the letter, it mentioned a council meeting and a date, and that Graham needed to die, and that I meant to write that Edwin needed to be on the guard detail, or was in the guard detail of the meeting, and then sign at the bottom with the middle fingerprint in black ink was I.
And then in the journal, and I put like tabs of everywhere that it mentioned that Edwin wanted to kill Yehan or sabotage Yehan or underride Yehan.
And then we were given like several hours to either get out of Dodge or peacefully get arrested, and I think we peacefully got arrested, and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
I do need to add one piece of information. You rolled the dirty 20 on the investigation on the eye, see what you could discover. I mentioned that you got from it like a twinge of magic from his signature, from the signature, and I forgot to specify that the type of magic was enchantment.
Okay.
In a way that like it seemed to be kind of the source of magic. It doesn't like there wasn't a spell on it, but it just seemed that in the way that it was written,
Like
whatever wrote it had just that much enchantment magic that surrounded him that it was left imprinted on the paper.
Gotcha. So it wasn't like imbued in the.
It wasn't like imbued in the ink or anything. It's
It was
just
just
that
presence.
whatever wrote that had such a powerful enchantment energy, enchantment magic around it that it was left imprinted onto the paper. You can feel that twang from it.
What kind of flavor? Is it twangy, like citrusy, like orange twang, or like what flavor of magic am I?
Yeah,
like a copper penny.
It's blue raspberry.
Okay, gotcha. I'm stroking out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Does it smell like burnt toast in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else takes copper? Just me.
Cool. Yes. You guys then were.
We don't lock the table very often.
You guys were put in steel manacles, arrested by the Rangers, and then led off to the city dungeon. You guys each were put into a singular cell and were left under 24-hour watch. You were stripped of your items, so you're wearing your basic clothes, no armors, no weapons, nothing with you. If you wanted to try to conceal some sort of item on you, I will let you make a roll for it. Otherwise, basically all of your belongings were put into a like evidence chest that you guys would receive back if you're cleared of any charges.
Do I get to keep my holy symbol?
Yes.
Okay. Then she would have been fine with everything else getting taken.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell, "Don't play with those deck of cards."
Good luck on that one now.
Side your bow.
Oh yeah, it's my homeboy. Woo, let's
Shout
go.
out. Yeah.
Thanks, John Falwell. You're the homie.
Yep.
You don't get any response when you say that.
Okay.
Do you have the deck of cards on you?
It's here.
Was.
Oh, actually, I should look. No, the deck doesn't require attunement.
It does not.
They're pulling at least a card.
There you go.
Wait, this is so light.
Let's see.
Are they just messing with all our magical items?
No, but
Well, no, but you very blatantly said something
don't
to
touch
them.
my deck of cards.
Mm-hmm. Like a
Later
child.
that night, while it seems quiet, you're kind of on the verge of sleep. There is a sudden flash of light from down the hall, and you hear somebody just go, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" and somebody else goes, "Dude, calm down. You're fine. It's not real." And there's like this pause, like, "God damn it!"
That better not have been my deck.
There's like a silence, and then obviously something shuffling, and then locking.
Oh. Okay, great.
Cool. You guys eventually fall asleep in these cells. It's been a long day. One, you guys are exhausted.
Yeah.
Nobody's come to visit you or talk to you at this time. And you pass into a long rest. You guys level up to level 9 over this long rest. Sal'enna gets a familiar feeling in the middle of the night, a similar dream that has popped up in the past. And you see a familiar cloaked figure you'd seen in the past, in your dreams. This time you guys are standing on a platform, way high in the sky above the clouds. And you look down and you see this like brick building or stone building that sinks down into the clouds, like straight down, and you're on this flat platform on top of it. Besides the cloaked figure, you see 6 others. You see a well-dressed, pale-skinned, shoulder-length black hair individual who seems to have long fingernails that almost come out into points. Like very nice clothing with like a crimson underlay over like a black suit.
Okay.
You see a figure of a dragon, and this is, you started looking down off the edge of this, and as you turn around you see the figure of a dragon that is wrapped around the back side of it with its head poking over, except it seems to be decaying in the side of the face.
Okay.
You see another figure who has pinkish skin and a long blue robe and has what look like tentacles on its chin that come down.
Okay.
You also see this large wooden figure that looks like it's made out of wood and stone, that doesn't take the shape of any normal like figure, but is obviously some sort of creature.
Okay.
You see the familiar cloaked figure who has their back to you and is facing these 5 other creatures.
That was you mentioned 4,
So,
and I thought there was 6. Or am I the 6th?
sorry. So, there's...
I've seen slick black
sorry,
hair,
yes.
the king.
There's another figure who is wrapped in almost like paper and rolls all the way around its body. That's like yellowish white, and it's got no other clothes on, no items of significance on it, but it's got these piercing red eyes that glow through the paper. And so you see those 5 figures. The hooded figure is in between you, and it's looking at those figures and seems to be addressing them.
Can I see any signifying thing of the hooded figure? Because previously I've I at least been treating it kind of like it's. I know somebody's in a cloak, but I can't see into the hood.
Not yet, not right now. They
Okay.
have their back to you.
Okay.
Um,
Black robe though, or
Huh?
is black robe?
White
is
robe.
White robe. Okay.
You can hear that they're addressing these 5 figures, but you
Mhm.
can't quite make out what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
As every sound seems muffled,
Okay.
as if you're listening to it through a doorway.
So this is a dream. It's not like I can obviously move my head around and any stuff. But in the dream do I
You
seem
can-
to be of myself?
You can try to move your head, but yeah, you seem like looking down.
I look. It's my hand.
It's your hand.
Okay.
You're not wearing gloves though this time.
Okay.
Looking to your left and right, you're wearing familiar clothes. You feel like you're yourself. And looking to your right, you look at almost a mirror image of yourself.
Okay.
There's a second person standing next to you that looks exactly like you. This person is wearing the gloves and has a familiar pouch on their side. In fact, this person almost looks more like you now than you yourself
Okay.
at this moment. There's a pause in the dialogue, and all 5 figures turn to look at you. And your body starts to move.
Okay.
You can't control it, but you begin to draw out this chalk circle on the ground, inscribing runes before there is a sudden flash of light from it. And you open your eyes as the light fades, and you're standing in a familiar circular dirt courtyard. And there's a central elevated platform in front of you, and all around that little courtyard that you're in is these seats and stands, and you see thousands and thousands of elves, and they're cheering. And then you look, and coming down out of the sky is 6 figures that land on that central pedestal. This is the courtyard from the
We're talking about.
Faerun.
Faerun, yeah.
Yeah, the ancient city.
Okay, I was picking that up. So I would have at least cognitively remember, because I would have been on those steps, right?
Mhm. Yeah, you can
Okay.
see the location that you walked out there, and it's weird to put that concept that you felt like you were on those steps 2 months ago, but that also, looking at the courtyard and the buildings and everything, that feels like it's infinitely in the future from now at the same time.
One other question: do I feel any animosity, feeling when the other figures turned towards me before I started drawing? Okay, so I wasn't in like a distraught mood. Okay.
The roaring crowd goes quiet, and again you can hear that this group seems to be addressing the crowd in unison, in like one unified voice. And as the cheering kind of hushes, that unified voice stops, and the white cloaked figure steps out from it, the 5 in front, and starts addressing the crowd. And at this point, the crowd's gone silent, and there's this like, you can make out their faces. They seem puzzled and confused, but also like, okay, what's about to happen? And from the far side of the courtyard, an iron gate opens, and out walks, in chains, about 30 orcish individuals in ragged clothes and obviously war scars. And there's this massive booing from the crowd. And the white figure again addresses the crowd, and they kind of hush. And the figure that was next to you, that looks very similar to you at this point, walks away and walks towards the group of 30 orcs that are all chained together. And you see the figure reach into the bag and pull out a book, similar book to yours, and begins doing some sort of spell. You see hand motions, you see them using ingredients that they're smearing into their hands, and then suddenly you watch as it seems like they're pulling the moisture off of these 30 orcs. They seem to have like the air and the water sucked out of their lungs, and their bodies become dried as they all start to kind of shrivel and lock up, and all 30 of them collapse. And you watch as that figure, who looks in stride, similarly clothed, there's some similar aspects to you and a similar face, but the build is a little bit stockier than yours, not quite as feminine. Seems to almost be in like the moisture moves into them. They seem to be kind of bolstered by it. There's an immediate like silence. There's always a little bit of a muttering from the crowd, but it goes dead silent. And you can see that there's a mixed view where some of them are intrigued and seem happy that it happened, and others just immediately look horrified and worried. And your dream cuts out.
That's a heck of a dream.
Yeah.
Krista, you feel, as you fall asleep, a sense of warmth, comfort, and familiarity wash over you. It's the same feeling you had just a week ago when you had a similar dream. The same feeling you hadn't felt for a number of years, since you were a kid on the coast. And then a voice that goes out through the darkness around you. No vision, nothing, just, "Hello, daughter. It is time for us to meet, for you to put a face to your faith. Make your way south and find the Squalor, a ship of thieves and rats. Board that ship in Port Novus and follow their path. And I will give you the answers you've been seeking." And again, it pulls away, and you're back into that dream state. And it's kind of like a whiplash that wakes you up, except it's morning. And your 8 hours of long rest have passed. You two don't have any special dreams, I'm sorry.
Oh man, I'm a dreamer of the swamp anyways. Out of spite.
You have a nice dream about good old swamp, like a nice hot cup of mud.
Oh, with my favorite brother Jeff.
With Jeff. No cold winds, no undead. Just a very wholesome dream of your home.
Good.
And
Yeah.
then Grandpa gets eaten by a dragon.
See me squirming in my sleep?
Yeah, you guys wake up the next morning, and you guys have all reached level 9. So, I don't know if there's anything special you guys got, what new spells you guys took. I know everybody got a new level of spells.
Yeah.
Seems to be the commonality. So,
Yeah,
people want to go through what they got.
Yeah, I'll let John kick off.
So, because I'm a Circle of the Druid, or Circle of the Moon Druid, I now have access to CR3 creatures. It's based off a third of my Druid level. So, being level 9, I have access to CR3 and certain flying creatures. So that's going to help out, pushing people off cliffs.
Yeah. Sal was conflicted, but I think ultimately I'm going to stick the path of just wizard. I was going to multi-class for a second here. But I might hold off because I feel like for whatever reason D&D, the classes just do better at like odd numbers instead of even numbers for the most part, for whatever reason. So I might multi-class next time if it makes more sense, if the story drives me to make more sense. But for right now, I just took my 9th level in Wizard, School of Necromancy, and I learned dance macabre, which means if there's a pile of bones, I can like summon 4 things on top of my animate dead and control them, and yeah, it takes less time and effort. And then some teleportation stuff that I've got going on too. So not a whole lot. I think I got a few more spell slots. I didn't actually check out to see if what was before and what was after. So I'm assuming I got more spell slots as a wizard for level 9. Nothing, outside of that, nothing crazy happened for Sal. Just more necromantic powers.
Yeah.
Awakening.
And you also get teleportation circle added to your spellbook.
Yes. So that's been added. I'm assuming that is what the runes were being drawn in the dream.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I could make that connection point.
Yeah.
I took, I just had one extra spell that I could take. So as of right now, it is scrying, because I could not figure out what else I would like to use it for. But she's a nosy bitch, so she likes to spy on people.
Can't get it out of the rogue domain, can you?
Sneaky.
Yeah, I can.
I got one spell, and I got I did the resilient feat.
Oh yeah. I know I'm not the DM, but what is your ranger sub archetype? Are you Gloomstalker? Are you a
You hunter, right?
hunter? Okay.
I can never remember.
I was
She's
just curious.
awesome.
No, I know, but I was just curious what
Is that the
she's.
thing that pops up this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Monster Slayer.
Monster Slayer. Oh.
Oh, interesting.
She's a slayer.
Okay.
And
Yes.
you're are you life domain or are you death?
No, I am. I might be dead. No.
Grave domain.
Grave.
Grave
yeah, I'm a grave
domain.
domain.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is it different than death?
You're thinking of grave.
Oh.
I don't think there is a death domain.
Yeah.
But it's the
It's the-
like sealing rituals to make sure things don't rise as undead, and you can cast what's the cantrip that saves somebody from dying? Spare the dying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spare the
spare the
Dying.
dying,
Yeah.
and then I have like
Whale of the Grave.
Whale of. Oh no, that's my other character.
Oh,
She has Circle of Mortality, and so it's like if you go down hit points, if you're at 0, I can cast a spell that will get you. You'll get full benefits from whatever healing spell I do.
Oh, nice.
Instead of me having to roll, you'll just automatically get them. And yeah, so she does a little bit of necromantic things. I can take away critical hits, and then I can destroy undead. She's got a fascination with death. Not that she wants to kill things, but she just wants to study how to stop it.
Yeah. Okay. That answers that. I just can't remember. In your moon, right? Yeah.
All right. Most of the day passes.
Sal's gonna sit there and try and. She's read books about, people being imprisoned and enslaved for a long time, and heard about this rock skipping in the corner and catching it. So she's gonna try and fascinate herself by throwing rocks in the corner and try to get it back to her
Yeah.
herself.
Uh,
You're just gonna hear a click, click.
I'm gonna try to play.
give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Sleight of hand check. Sorry.
Sleight of hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I try to play along or
Yeah.
just compete against it?
Yeah, trying to skip a rock off the corner and catch it again. Yeah.
13.
13. You get it a few times. You wouldn't say you consistent at it, but definitely hitting it a couple times. And there's a couple times towards the end you started to catch it. You're like, oh yeah, and you do it again and immediately drop it. You're like, okay, you can keep trying.
I want to react to what Manny attempts to do.
Athletics or
No, sleight of hand.
sleight of hand? Even worse. Oh no, it's a 6.
6. Manny, every time you throw the rock, somehow you actually have impeccable aim and you hit the corner directly every time, so it just thuds.
Never
It never bounces back. It hits both sides at the same time and just loses all momentum and drops. It's like every time you're trying to skip it, you're like, well, let me throw it from this angle, and somehow it still just
Hits that
nails
corner.
that corner perfectly and drops straight down.
The child in me who's like used to watch the box bounce around like the TV screen.
Yeah.
Is just so happy that's hitting the corner every time.
And somehow you're like satisfied with the result, even though it's not what you
I'm
wanted.
losing horribly.
I don't think you're winning at this.
Oh no, I'm winning. I'm hitting the corner every time.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
not-
distinct sound difference between the click, clack, clack of yours
Yeah.
versus just thick, full, thick, full.
One day you'll be as good as me.
I'm sitting
That's
there
debatable.
and I am trying to tell myself everything that she said over and over and over.
Okay.
Go south. Get on the ship. Go south. Port over. You know, like just all the
Yeah.
details. And I'm almost doing it to the rhythm of Sal's.
Click, clack, clack.
Yeah.
Go to the ship.
Yeah.
Get on the squalor.
But I do find it easier to do it to Manny's.
Do any of you guys ever like have amazing dreams and then wake up more powerful?
No, I mean I had a pretty awesome dream last night. Feel well rested today.
Hmm.
Did you dream about my brother Jeff too in the swamp?
You know, I didn't get any of their names, but there was this, somebody that looked like they'd be like slimy. And,
Oh, Aunt Ethel. Yeah. She,
oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. Aunt Ethel it is.
Yeah, she's the slimy one of the bunch for sure.
Does she have tentacles?
Man, I didn't realize any of us could be slimy.
Well, when you grow up around mud, it's just different consistencies.
So glad I grew up in the north.
Anyhow.
Well, no tentacles, no.
Oh, you're certain?
Wiry hair when it's not matted down.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
Is your mind broken?
Mine? No.
Rude.
You keep mumbling to yourself.
Oh.
Are you perturbed?
I guess I did have a dream, but it wasn't
You're not more powerful?
more knowledgeable, which is power, so in a way, yes.
Only if you know how to use it.
I do know how to use this one. Yeah.
So are you broken or not? It was a really simple question.
As about broken as you are.
I'm not broken.
Well, then that's my answer too.
You guys hear the pitter patter of footsteps coming down the hall.
Oh, I gotta hide my rock.
An excellent hiding place would be in the corner with the 10 other rocks.
Nope, he thinks, or she thinks it's a special rock, so it's in a pocket now.
Coming down the hall is Belfour, the same ranger who arrested you. At this point, it's a little afternoon. You can tell because there's, some light that comes through some of the windows at the end of the hall. And he stops in front of the cages and looks at all of you and goes, well, can't agree with your methods, but looks like everything you said was true. So,
we don't necessarily agree with our methods either. It's just what had to have happened.
all right. You can release him, and one of the guards comes out and one by one undoes your guys' cells. Your gear's already out on the tables out there. Feel free to suit up, and I'll meet you outside. Have a further discussion, especially if you have any questions. And I'd love to chat with you guys more about it. And he leaves the building, the jail.
Rush over and count my deck of cards.
So you can't you can kind of muddle and count them, I guess. Yeah, there is one card missing.
Knew it. Man. Better keep these safe. Just put them back in my
Cool.
pocket.
Good defense.
Manny,
It's worked so far.
what is your passive perception?
The 17.
17? Okay, you would notice then. There are 2 new daggers in your stuff.
Oh, cool. Just plain daggers?
Pulling them out of the sheath, there's a little note in there. And it says, what was it? What's you guys? I don't think I already gave it to you. It was, your work hasn't gone unnoticed. Welcome, killer, and you have a dagger of venom and a dagger of life stealing.
Ooh.
And that is the next rank in the Killers Collective.
Sal's gonna go over to her gear. Is it in like just a pile of stuff, or
Yeah,
is it...
they just have like a table with your stuff laid out on it.
Well, Sal takes some time and she meticulously lines things out, make sure nothing's missing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is missing.
She like takes up the whole table, so nobody else has room to really look at their stuff.
You guys all have
Yeah.
your own tables.
Oh, okay. All
There's
right.
dagger of life stealing.
Dagger of venom and dagger of life stealing. Yes. Does that pop up? I think it's a blue one.
Let me just look at life stealing. There's a greatsword, longsword, rapier, scimitar, and short sword of life stealing.
You can make it a custom item, or just add the like scimitar and roll a d4 when you do it.
Okay. I'll do that.
Are we still attuned
It
to our
functions the
items?
same as those items. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say you guys are all still attuned. They were in a chest, but they weren't, 100 yards away. They were right around the corner. So yeah.
They think that would stop a wizard
Yeah.
anyways.
It's basically, it functions the exact same, except it's a d4 instead of a,
Gotcha.
and it's a thrown weapon. I guess, yeah, it's a dagger. Cool. Yeah, you guys are able to be reunited with all your stuff, get all your equipment back on how it was beforehand. And then you're kind of ushered out the front door of the jailhouse.
By somebody or just our own?
Just the guards are like, all right, now that you got your stuff along this way, keep moving and through a couple doors, and eventually you find your way in the open welcome area where the people like come in to, they want to go talk to a loved one in the cell, like the check-in area, and then the only way to go is out the front door. Belfour is out there, hands in the pocket, hood down on his cloak, just seems to be watching people walk by, and as you guys come out, turns to greet you, and he goes, "Oh, good to see you. Everything back in order? You guys have all your belongings?"
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yup.
That's good. That's good. Every once in a while, those guards tend to get into a little trouble with people's stuff, as they shouldn't. But what are you gonna do?
It could kill him one day.
Probably.
Just they shouldn't poke around my stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why they're not rangers. They're just the basic city guard.
Yeah. Must not have the brain
Let's
cells
just say
for
I'm
it.
walking out more than I walked in with, so can't complain.
I'm not gonna ask questions.
Yeah,
You should.
a lot
Generally
of volunteering
don't
of
wanna know.
information.
Yeah.
Just the friends I made along the way.
So what's your role in this now? Are you higher ranked now that Edwin's gone?
How's Yehan?
It hasn't been decided yet. We will have a vote amongst Grey Cloaks about who will be taking over the leader of the Rangers Guild.
Has Yehan been cleared?
Yehan has been cleared of all charges,
Nice.
and we've passed on the information back to the council already about the findings from the book.
Did you inform his family?
We have.
Okay.
Yehan is currently being cared for,
Yeah.
and hopefully will make a full recovery.
Are you checking all your government officials? Are you checking all your government officials?
What do you mean?
There's a plot afoot.
Well, it seems like an isolated incident or an isolated person. I mean, there will be some distrust amongst the Rangers Guild for a while. We'd appreciate it if you didn't pass this on as common knowledge about what happened. As far as the public knows, Edwin was marked a traitor, and was killed while he was.
Being a traitor.
We were attempting to detain him.
So you're like what?
But
what
as far
is,
as the public's aware, the Rangers Guild
But I don't care about the
killed
public.
Edwin while trying to arrest him, and we'd prefer if that stayed the same. Mentions of an evil cult and some outside force we would also like to avoid. Again, we've passed the information on to the council,
Okay.
and so they're aware. But for the sake of trusting what is left of the Rangers Guild, with the public's eye, we'd prefer if the exact details of what Edwin was up to stays a secret.
Well,
But
the
it-
only ones we would have to tell are the council. So as long as they've already informed that.
It's not the only ones.
Who
We're
else
gonna
are we
run
going to
into
tell?
more people that are part of this conspiracy.
What news of the Giants?
After word was
promising
passed
anything.
that Edwin was safe, that the charges have been dropped, and they received the same information that the public received, they have begun their journey home and returned to the Giant's Grotto peacefully. No blood was shed, and there was no fighting that occurred, luckily.
Shame.
Woohoo! No, that's good.
We're glad.
Could have had a dead giant guy follow us around.
Yeah, I mean, I can handle that. I'm okay with that.
Let's
kill us.
not. That's not the conversation topic right now.
Let's go kill us a giant.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm tired of walking.
No.
I'm just talking about giant spiders like 2 weeks ago.
Can you bring back a horse?
No,
I'm sorry
horses
about
are
that.
lame. I can summon a steed
You don't
anyways.
like to walk anyways.
I know.
They're
I've
perfect.
been able to summon a steed for a long time. Horses are lame. Get with the program. Spiders.
Snakes are cool too.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you. Since I all know you think I'm a snake anyways.
If it is all the same
I'm not.
to you guys,
Yes.
our our town's lord would like to thank you guys personally. He is aware of the truth of what transpired, to the point of Yehan was involved with a separate organization in order to attempt to take over the Rangers
You mean
Guild.
Edwin?
Huh? Or Edwin, sorry. Was involved with a separate outside power. He's not fully aware of all of the council's knowledge, such as what is the Black Hound, and what it means. All he knows is that essentially Edwin was another pawn in the attempt of essentially a coup, taking over the Rangers Guild, an outside force, or not. Yes. And that you guys were the ones that killed Edwin and stopped him, and that Yehan was proven innocent by your actions,
Sweet.
and he gets to return to the community and to his family. And so,
Does he get to be a ranger again? If he wishes.
yes, it's a discussion we'll have to have with him. To what extent?
Can we vote to make him Lord
Is-
Captain?
No, we cannot.
The,
Why not?
Katie can vote.
I
She's
can't.
in the guild.
I can't say for sure whether
She's
or not.
worth 4 votes easily.
I can't say for sure whether or not it would function. If he would be interested in rejoining, if he would, it's something we could work towards. However, even though this entire underlying plot has occurred and he has his innocence proven, there is still a level of distrust that comes with 5 years of
Everybody
ignorance.
in the ranger turning against him.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and so
I
it's
understand.
going to take time for people
We
to
need
become
that though
on
in
board with him being
charge with
around.
what's going on.
Oh, we need Yehan. It's just the fact is, if you were Yehan, would you want to work with a bunch of people that
Sure.
really had you on a hunting list in order to...
At least I know where the snakes are.
Anyways, our Lord, House Denner would like to thank you guys tonight in the banquet hall personally.
Is he serving rat soup?
We can make a special request.
Oh,
So if you guys would be intrigued, I know a couple of
some rat soup.
involved families. Yehan's wife and kid will be there. If Yehan is able, he will make it. We'll see how he's doing
Will
by
you be
this
there?
afternoon. I will be there along with many members of the Rangers Guild.
Okay.
And then, of course, the court.
Lord Denner?
Which is Denner.
Dinner.
Denner. Denor.
Okay.
I thought this whole city was run by the Rangers Guild. I didn't even know there was a lord.
Every city
You
has,
were born in
every
the mud.
city has a lord and maybe a controlling house that was part of the founding family of that city. So Lord Denor, way back, they founded Nyx. I can't even remember how long now, a few hundred years. And so their house has been the leading for politics and policies of the city and trade and commerce and laws. The Rangers Guild simply acts as a protective force. In truth, we answer to our Lord on all local and civil matters. While we are a part of the council along with every other guild hall, the council acts in the interest of the continent of Spey and outside of its houses. And in truth, many of the lords of their cities aren't aware of the council, and it's preferred to keep it that way, as some lords might be less perceptive to the idea than others. It's never been about control. That's not the goal of the group. But I know, for example, Lord Denner here would probably be quick to assume that the Rangers Guild would be trying to take over the city if that was the case. And so, again, it's one of those we would prefer if he's not made aware of the situation. But we do our best to keep him informed on as much information as we can.
Will Swifty have any recognition within the Rangers?
Of course. In fact, that'll be addressed at the court tonight. Again, if you do plan on leaving ahead of time, please let me know and I'll get you belongings beforehand. But it was more supposed to be ceremonial at the place of this dinner.
And do we still have a room at the inn?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I say we stay a night. I would like to check in with Yehan.
Sure. Yeah, we'll see them at the dinner, but yeah, we can check in with them at the the inn. What of the warcasters? I know they were sitting here.
From all accounts, they were simply following orders, and as far as they knew, they were following the orders of the official leader of the Rangers Guild, and were not aware of any underlying plot
kill
or any
them?
deception.
No,
Okay.
we left them alone.
They did admit that
They failed to
using
manage
magics,
charm.
truth magics, that Yehan did still claim his innocence. Edwin was able to convince them that was besides the matter, and better left a secret for the better of the city, and this was a Rangers Guild matter, and that whether or not that was the truth or wasn't, that they were under strict orders to help the leader of the Rangers Guild, and so if that was his decision, that was his decision. And so while they do feel guilty for almost costing an innocent man his life, we don't feel the need that it's necessarily their fault going forward. However, a lot of these decisions are going to be made by a council of rangers and not one individual. It's an oversight
It's probably
we
a good call.
have looked at and looking to prevent in the future.
Mm.
Good thing, good.
Wow.
Well, I think we will see you tonight.
Great. On that note, I have some duties to attend to. Everything's a little toss-up right now. People don't quite know what's going on, and the Rangers needs a little direction. So me and a couple of the other senior Grey Cloaks are going to be leading the charge for a little bit until we've made the decision. But yeah, I will see you all tonight.
Okay.
And he heads off in the town.
I would like to head to the inn.
Is no one concerned
What do you mean?
About what?
that they're, Black Hands infiltrating
No, I mean
every part, and they're just kind of like, don't talk about it?
Well, we're on a secret council, so it makes sense that we don't.
The secret council sounds like some person up there knows about some of this persnickety
But
business.
also, what is the regular person going to do about it?
Fight the system.
What system?
Exactly.
Do you want to fight the whole system?
Yeah.
And take on the council?
That's what I'm saying. We gotta work our way there.
I think
Somebody's gotta have answers that they're holding withholding
there
from
are
us.
people that we can trust within these.
I'm just saying the
things.
Rangers Guild should be doing more.
And I think they are now aware of that.
They
You have
just
to
seem like-
remember that the secret meeting was what Graham went to.
They just seem like
Graham
they're
was killed.
sweeping it under the rug.
I don't think he will.
That's
I
why I
don't
need to
think-
elect Yehan.
Well,
He knows. He knows.
I do. But what's the other one's name
Belfour?
again? Belfour. I think we can trust him too.
Yeah, I like Belfour. We do have a hint of the letter I from the letter.
Yeah.
Smelled like citrus magic to me.
Citrus magic.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Tangy.
citrus magic?
It's some druid craft, don't worry about it.
But
Wouldn't you
what
learn
kind
citrus
of magic,
magic?
is citrus
I
magic?
didn't know. I just smelled like it.
Oh, it just smell like
Just-
it.
yeah.
Isn't that how you describe your different druidic magics?
No, every magic has a smell.
Different. What does mine
Okay.
smell like?
Farts.
No.
Like
Like
cabbage.
dying.
Cabbage
No.
fart. Like farts.
No.
They're bad.
No.
Bad.
No.
Oh,
I don't believe you. Now
like
you're making
something's
jokes.
rotten.
You're making jokes. It makes
Rotten farts.
sense now. No.
Yeah.
I refuse.
I refuse.
Like farts that expired
Nah, I don't think so.
and died.
Bob didn't smell that bad.
Bob the dead man?
No, the skeleton, Bob. You're thinking of Rob.
Bob, he wasn't as bad as Rob. Rob was.
But Rob was only, a couple
I can
months.
tolerate Bob. His personality shone through.
Yeah, I think so too. I should bring him back.
Yeah.
I would still like more clarification about the magics and the smells.
Citrusy.
Yes. But what kind of magic smells citrusy?
Well, let's see. It seemed to be emanating, so it wasn't.
Does my magic smell citrusy?
No, it smells like farts.
No, that's your magic smells
No,
like farts.
well, she does the same magic.
No, probably two different ways. I'm not a wizard.
Yeah, yours
Don't lie
has
now.
more of a lemony scent to it.
So
Bullshit.
kind of citrusy.
Kind of citrusy.
Bullshit.
Different type, though. Lemon and orange are fairly distinct, but still citrusy in their own way.
I think Manny's pulling my leg.
Just saying, smelled citrusy.
Okay.
Well, I want to go off into the forest and find Yehan's companion dog, wolf.
That's like
Wolf dog?
winks up in the north, I thought.
No, that
thought
dog was definitely following us. Are you kidding? It stayed.
It's a mammal
It
thing. You
follows
wouldn't
him.
get it.
Why do we need a wolf?
We don't.
We can let him know that Yehan's
Wouldn't
recovering.
Aeon be doing that?
Yehan's recovering.
I am going to go read my book.
Swifty, what would you like to do?
I'll tag along with you to go.
Awesome. So, I want to go to the inn and talk to the
Yeah.
wife.
Heading over to the Brambleberry Inn. The place seems livelier than ever. In fact, there seems to be a lot of people in there. There also seems to be a number of rangers that are going in and out pretty
I
rapidly.
need to apologize.
Heading in, you can see there are a number of rangers that walk up and are offering some sort of congratulations / apology before kind of quickly ducking out the door and like lowering their head like, ah, shit. there's a lot of people in there that seem that they're drinking. They're not necessarily celebrating, but they're like at the same time they're like, well, it's a great place to be to drink if I'm going to. And it almost seems in some sort of attempt to support the bar, the inn, where people are like, I don't feel guilty and I'm not going to apologize, but also I kind of feel bad, so I'm going to buy my drinks here because they deserve it because they've been treated like shit for the last 5 years. It's like it's a successful place. It's always been a successful place, but also the owners were not viewed upon nicely. People just went there because it was a fun place to be, not because, like they probably bought their beer and then left the cheapest tip in the world or none at all. You recognize both women that are working behind the bar. One is the lighter-haired individual that was working the time that you came in after you brought Yehan back.
Yeah.
That was filling in for the bar. And then the other one is Yusona.
His wife.
His wife. With the black hair.
And his son not working?
You don't see his son working.
I'm gonna make my way to Isona.
Approaching, she immediately recognizes you, and you can tell she's like trying to focus on her work to kind of keep her emotions in. She's like, if I focus on my work, then like nothing else can like bother me. As soon as she sees you, you can see her just kind of start to welt up, and like tears are starting to build in her eyes, and she just comes out from behind and gives you like the biggest hug. And you're towering over her.
Yeah.
Like you are a foot
I
taller.
am a big, comfy, cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's this like dainty, short girl. But yeah, she just comes in for like the biggest bear hug possible,
I try to
and
do it as
immediately
gently
starts
as
doing
possible.
like. You can hear her like sniffling and crying in your arms. She kind of whimpers out.
Disgusting.
You're not there. You're reading your book.
Just thank you, please. Thank you.
How's your son holding up?
He needs time, but he's gonna be okay.
I hope he forgives you.
He will.
Okay.
No, please. You guys drink free.
Charles.
Sorry, but I need to focus on my work. It's keeping me.
Yeah. Will you be at the dinner tonight?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll be
well,
there.
then we will chat there.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure everything was going okay.
Yehan will be wanting to thank you in person. So, he's going to make it.
Oh, awesome. Okay, good to hear. We might go rest a little bit ourselves before going out tonight.
Of course. Your rooms are already prepped.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Is there anything you would like to drink right now?
Just some tea.
Of course, yeah. And she goes back and immediately starts making food. And you can see it before, like you didn't notice it. Most of the stuff she's pouring has been like out of bottles that's underneath the bar counter, the circular bar counter, or the taps that hang down from the ceiling, like hoses. Going around to one of the far sides, you looked at it but never really realized what it was. There's a hearth kind of ingrained into this large like trunk style centerpiece on the far side that she like pulls down the gate on it and immediately like pulls out a thing of what is boiling water essentially. Makes you guys some tea. It's a like sweet tangy flavor made with brambleberries.
Awesome. Swifty will have, if you have a brumbleberry beer. She'll
Of
take
course,
that.
that's the specialty. Yeah, whatever you guys are drinking, it's free.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys are able to enjoy the tavern. It's a lot more upbeat and lively. Live music definitely helps set the mood. A lot of people are talking and conversating, and you hear a lot of it is in relatives to either Yehan or to Edwin, and then like a couple people are talking about the Giants.
Okay.
But that seems
Is
to be
it-
the gist of the conversations. Like people are like, "Oh my God, did you hear the Giants were outside and blocking? Oh my God, like I wish I was there to see it. I've always wanted to see a giant."
Okay,
and-
so it's nothing negative.
No,
Okay.
No, overall, the only negative comments seem to be about Edwin, where it's like, oh god, that piece of shit.
I knew
He tried to
wasn't
take
sure.
over our fucking town. That's what he gets. Put him 6 feet under the ground, let him rot out in the snowfields up north. I don't care. It's like stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and I will, if anybody tries to leave without giving a tip, I'm gonna like clear my throat
All right.
every time
All right.
they do.
Very few, but there's a couple.
Yeah.
Let's say you give me an intimidation check.
Just
Oh, gosh.
With advantage.
Okay. I was like, this is
Right place, right time.
14.
Says and say if not, I'm behind her.
Yeah, there's a couple people that kind of were gonna leave like a single copper piece or whatever. You're kind of, and they kind of look at you, and their other friend looks at them and goes, "Dude," it's like shit, and, like switches it and pulls out like a silver instead, or like 3 or 4 copper pieces down, which like for a villager is a lot of money.
Yeah. That's enough to make me
Expensive
happy.
bar tonight.
Huh?
Expensive bar tonight.
Yeah.
It's a big night. I was gonna go outside the city to look for Yehan's. I think it was a wolf.
It's gonna take you like a day. You know the trail now, but it still takes like a day to reach the frozen fields.
Oh, it's
North of
still
the
back.
Euphrates.
Okay, then yeah.
So
I'll
remember,
go for that.
he separated from the wolf
Way before.
a few like 100 yards away from the tree line,
Uh-huh.
and basically sent the beast back in the wild and said like, civilization's no place for this beast. She's not gonna get anything out of being here with me. She needs to be free. Like, she was my companion while I was up here. Like, she became my partner, and I wouldn't have survived without her, and maybe vice versa. But
Okay, scratch that.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm just gonna have a Bramble beer or 2.
okay, yeah, man, they're free. Drinks are on the house tonight. Yeah, and you guys are able to say take a rest as well, and like a short rest as nightfall comes, and it is time to head to the city hall for the court dinner.
Sweet.
So I don't know if you recall, and I sent a photo to the group chat a long time ago. Let's see, pull up the group chat and look at the. I think you can hit info to look at the photos. Maybe?
Yeah.
Down.
View media and files. Okay.
And there is a giant tree in the
Treehouse.
center of a giant tree in the center of the town that has a spiraling staircase, and inside of this split wood yew style tree is this huge building, center fixed inside, and it has this long wraparound deck that goes all the way around the building. And so you come up on the back side, and then you have to walk down. You're on essentially the north side of the tree when you come up the stairs. You have to walk down the east side about halfway into the double doors that opens into the hall. And walking into the hall, it is immediate like there's this huge hall with huge long road tables that are faced north to south. And you're coming in from the east side, and then on the north side there's this big platform like stage that has a long center table there and a very like nicely decorated chair that sits a little bit higher than all the other ones on each side. And then there's stairs that go up to like an upper balcony where there's rooms and stuff upstairs and rooms behind that stage. And then there's big double doors on basically the east and west side, and a centered in the north side, and then these huge like windows that look out over the city all along the walls. There's a few big chandeliers, like candle chandeliers that hang in the center of the hall that kind of light the place up. And you can tell this place is already starting to get lively. There's a lot of well-dressed individuals that seem to be nobles or the rich folks of the town. There's a ton of people who are wearing ceremonial ranger gear, where it's like, it's not your full-on military attire, but it's more like clean, and obviously they've never worn it like out in the forest because there's not any scratches. And
Were you supposed to wear something fancy?
I don't know.
Okay. Too late now.
You can tell there are some rangers that
Yeah,
are not
no, I
wearing
was
this.
just
It's a vast majority of them, but it's not like every single one is dressed up. And then That's kind of the gist of everybody that's in there. Going in, you can see like catering people, the workers coming out and like setting up tables and putting out utensils. They're going in and out of one of those side doors. You can tell behind where that stage is, where the obviously the lords and ladies of the house would sit. There's a kitchen area behind that. They all seem to be coming in and out of. You guys are able to walk around and make small talk, and there's a lot of rangers that give you kind of a nod, and some come up and just go, hey, thank you guys so much. And a couple of them will come up and Swifty give you kind of a little like punch on the shoulder, kind of like, hey, congrats, moving up, and walking by without any explanation.
Do the ones that I talk to sleep come up to me at all, or do I see them anywhere?
Give me an investigation check. Investigation or perception, either one. No, investigation, yeah.
Natural one.
Oh.
For an 8.
Yeah, no. You don't see them around at all. You get the gist they might be here, but like, no, who knows?
Who cares? No, I'm kidding.
Maybe they're trying to avoid you.
Sal would probably stick to the corners,
Okay.
the darker corners,
Yeah.
and just glare.
For sure, it gets a little bit darker in some like the edges where away from the chandeliers. It is nighttime, the sun is set, it's fall, and so this is basically just after sunset, so it's dusk, so it's dark out. So while the windows look out over the town, you can see the candlelight. It's not producing any light. There's no light coming through the windows into the building. A little bit of time passes, and eventually, coming up behind you, you hear like a familiar gruff voice. He goes, "Oh, you guys don't listen, do you? But I guess I should say thank you anyways." And just turn around. It's Yehan, who is in a wheelchair, kind of rolling along, and as he like kind of his wife pushes it up to you, he gets up out of the wheelchair and comes over and
Well, thankfully
sticks
we
out a hand
do
for a
listen.
handshake. Thanks.
Thankfully, we do listen.
No, I was gonna say, you kind of go as you reach for the hug. He immediately just like puts up a hand, like he'll stop you
Oh, no,
if you
it's
try
like
to.
an awkward handshake. I'm not sure how
It
what
worked.
his customs are. Or...
Yeah.
So you grab it with both hands.
Yeah.
And then after like giving you guys each a handshake or some sort of like greeting gesture, he kind of eventually, you can tell it's like it's wearing on him a lot. Sits back down in the wheelchair and he goes, "That's gonna be a long road to recovery, but I say it's no permanent damages, so just a lot of good scars."
Well, good scars make for good stories.
Oh. I think I already had enough, but
Yeah. Probably could have done without a
So are you gonna become Grandmaster Ranger?
no.
That's a shame.
I haven't even decided if I want to be back in the guild. I think my adventuring days might be done, but also I think I owe that outside force a couple of my arrows, so there might be a day that I come around and assist in the cause, but in terms of serving the cities, I think my time is done.
He's still going to help in the greater issue.
As long as he knows.
Okay? He does know.
Well, let me get his drinks and we'll cheers to a speedy recovery.
Yeah, of
Find
course.
a waiter who's
Yeah.
bringing out.
And he goes, "Actually, I think we're sitting right over here," and he brings it over, and you guys are sitting in the center table that actually sticks out a little bit in front of the rest of the tables in like the front section, so you're the closest person to that head table up top on the stage. He goes, "I think these seats are assigned for us." And as soon as you guys like walk over to it, immediately like there's a waiter that was probably standing in the corner on standby who doesn't know you guys and didn't know to recognize, but as soon as people walk up and sit down, he's like immediately comes over and goes, what can I get you guys tonight? This is our list of food, and he gives you guys a bunch of options for food and drinks.
Rat stew.
And he's like, we've arranged a special menu for you. This is going to be a 3-course dinner. So you guys have some options and some substitutes if you'd like. If you just like to stick to the basics, that's fine. And they give you 5 options for your courses. It's like there's like a rat, like a hearty, like rat steak kind of. And like
Rat
a bunch
steak.
of other stuff in there. And then, yeah, there's options for drinks, water, milk, wine, beer, cider, tea.
Like end up grabbing one of the rats and like open my mouth abnormally large, like in front of Manny, and just kind of like shoving
the
it
food's
in.
the food's not out yet. It's like once
Okay.
they're asking you to like kind of circle your choices for the menu, your options, and then you'll get that served during the dinner.
I take like my
courses.
talon
Yeah.
fingernail and just like kind of scratch in the paperwork so it's damaged.
Perfect. It like just like cuts through the paper, where it's like there's the words and then there's just like a tear in it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll just do the normal, basic.
Muddy
Cool.
fingerprint.
Cool.
Just. No.
Yeah. They get your guys' orders, and
Hand-
again, a little bit of
With an
time
eye,
passes,
yeah.
and at this point, people are starting to take seats. And eventually, everybody's in, has their seat taken, and everybody kind of quiets down, and a couple individuals come out and take their seats at the main table up on the stage. There's a figure that's cloaked in obviously like a Wizard's Guild attire. Notably,
people.
there's a couple rangers that take seats, 2 that you don't recognize, and Belfour take their seats at that table, and they're all sitting on like the ends of the table. And then a couple well-dressed individuals take their seat at a table, like 2 or 3. And then there is 3 slots open on the center. There's the main chair, the assisting chair, and then like one off to the side of it. And eventually you walk out, and at one point everybody kind of stands. So you guys stand with them, and out walks 3 very well-dressed individuals.
Sal would begrudgingly stand. She'd be like the last one.
Yeah. Out of one of the doors on the side opposite of the kitchen, so on the east side, there is a older male in his mid-40s, like a bright green style emerald attire.
Human?
Human.
Okay.
Flaming red hair, like flaming bright like ruby red. And then his wife, who is this gorgeous blonde hair, elegantly dressed. Again, like a darker green dress, gown, and then a kid walks out as well, who is wearing mostly black, but like a little bit of that green shines through on like the underclothes, like the undervest, and they take their seats. After they take their seats, everybody else sits down after, and Belfour stands up and addresses the group and goes, well, I have the honors of starting us off. First of all, we'd of course like to make a public apology to the Engram family. Not only to Yehan, of course, but to Yusona and Elwyn. You guys have suffered greatly at the off looks from our city, and you had every right to leave and disown us. But we're happy to have you guys as members. And we're hoping that over time you can forgive all of us. Secondly, turn down the music a little bit. Secondly, of course, we would like to recognize our honorary guests. As those of us here in the hall know, it was these 4 individuals here, and motions to you 4, that stopped the plot Edwin was involved in to take over the Rangers Guild and usurp the Lord's rule over the city. And many of us owe them our lives and our indebted gratitude. Of course, as everybody here in the hall knows, according to the general public, it was the Rangers Guild who stopped them, and so it's a A silent thank you from the rest of the town that you'll never hear, but should know that their thanks to us really is owed to you. And starts a big round of applause, and everybody claps, and you hear a little cheers, a couple cheers in there.
Not knowing the custom, I want to stand up and like bow.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys do. Nobody
No,
else does.
I will
No.
yank Manny down.
Ooh, my bad. Okay.
He starts getting up, and I'm like,
You see a little smirk on Belfour's face as he's like, he can't laugh, but you can kind of see, kind of like does this little chuckle, little air snort. Lord, Lord Denor stands up, looks out over the crowd, and he goes, "Dark days ahead of us, but Nick stands strong as always. We will not let this unjust action go unpunished. We will seek out whatever group was involved. We will make this city proud by eliminating it." And at which point his wife is like, kind of like, got this like, God damn it, like kind of tugs, and he kind of looks down and he goes,
This is a man that knows.
and as he, like, just
what
about, as he's about to sit down, as she's trying to pull him down, he goes, "We'll fucking kill him." And then she, like, yanks down hard, and you can tell, like, she immediately goes bright red, and he's like,
Who is this guy?
you can tell he's like,
your new favorite.
he seems a little
Is he?
he seems a little worked up, like
that
he's
his
just
name?
like perpetually angry.
Sal like intently tries to like awkwardly make eye contact with him.
All I can think about
Dude,
is like
he's like sitting there
the
like
dad from How to Train Your Dragons. And that's all
Yeah.
I'm imagining.
He's-
Is this huge guy.
he's not actually that big.
Yeah, I know.
He fills out his suit nicely, but he's not like big
No.
at all. He's like hands on the table, white knuckling it, like
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
and there's like a pause where everybody's kind of waiting for what's gonna happen. He goes, "Bring out the first round," and immediately there's like a shuffle of like people, and
I like
the waiters start coming out with these huge trays, and you can see the first dish is like spread out, and they come out and they start bringing out plates to people and putting out like appetizer, like snack items, filling out the tables, bringing out drinks, and there's probably 100 of these waiters that are just like shuffling out in this mass, and you guys are served. The stage is served first, you guys are served second, and then it just like works. They start working their way down the lines. For the most part, dinner goes fine. You guys get through 2 rounds. They're not like full plates either, so it's not like you guys are stuffed, but it's essentially
It's enough
3
food.
courses that equates to 1 full dinner worth of food.
Yehan, what are your thoughts on Belfer?
I remember when he first joined. I was still a ranger when he first signed up. I knew his family, and he's worked his way up to Grey Cloak nicely. He's one of the younger Grey Cloaks out there, but he's earned a lot of respect for his skill and his honesty. And if I'm being honest, he'd be my first pick to take over the guild.
Okay, because I will admit, he did not seem to believe your actions for 5 years ago. So we just
Belfour I have a little history with him. Not much, but I did save his life a couple times, and I will admit, as a favor to his father, I mentored him a bit when he first joined.
we're
Made
just
sure he
looking
stayed alive.
for people that, as we move forward, that we know we can trust.
Like
You're
I
one
said.
of them.
This
I
Lord
was
Dinner's
hoping that
another.
Belfer would be another.
It's like I said, he
Just-
Sal'enna is
Kill
now
things.
obsessed with the Town Lord, I'm assuming. She probably thinks he's the best thing in the world.
Belfour's got a good head on his shoulders and a true heart. And like I said, if anybody was to take over the guild, I think he'd be the best choice. I know a number of people would be a little upset with his age. There's a few Grey Cloaks that have been around even longer than I have, and they think it's their turn just because they have seniority of age, but as we learn, that doesn't always matter.
Yeah.
As for Lord Denner, he's an angry individual.
Yeah.
He cares for his city and his people, and I don't think he would ever do anything to put them in harm's way, but he can be a little quick in his judgments and quicker in his actions. I'd say he's not somebody you want to be on the bad side of, and it sounds like
No,
whatever
he's
this
also probably not
organization
somebody
is.
that we would like to trust.
As far as whatever this organization, this outside force is, I think they made a real bad enemy with him because he's not one to relent.
Yes, that's a positive.
Sounds like a man of action.
I like this.
The term I would give him is wrathful.
You're just
Delicious.
steering him more to her, but I get it. We're just because if you're not going to be joining the Rangers, doing your own thing, which I understand, from time to time you may hear us check in, me especially,
I appreciate it.
and then, but knowing also that we could probably check in with Belfast and relay information. I think I can trust him. Obviously, though, who knows with, well, it seems like Edwin was corrupted by this hand, not necessarily by force, but out of greed.
He
Jealousy.
was an individual who always thought he was right. He always had the city and the guild's priorities first. He wasn't in it for himself, but he was a little short-minded in that fact, and so he thought his ideas were the right way to go for the guild, and he was not one to stray from that, and again, he would go to the extremes to prove his point. So while I don't think he was by any means an evil man, it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. I think he was used.
Yes, but it was
Like a
his
puppet.
choice, and not like you've seen magic that can make somebody choose a certain thing or a certain will or a certain way.
I read the diary. The few leading Grey Cloaks allowed me the opportunity as part of making amends, and I understand it was his choice, but I also understand that when he made that decision and indebted himself, I don't think he understood the gravity of the situation. Again, his short-mindedness kind of prevented him from seeing that future, and I think he, like a gambler trying to get out of a debt, he just dug his hole deeper.
But I don't think Belfer will be corrupted the same way.
No. Like I said, good head on his shoulders. He's a good lad.
Or 5 years in exile, you don't hate Edwin as much as I think you would.
Like I said, he always did what he thought was right for the guild, and I can't fault him for that. He made the wrong decisions, and it costed me a good chunk of my life, and I can't say I'll ever forgive him, but it doesn't do much good to be angry at him.
It's true.
It's not like I ever wanted to kill him. In fact, if the roles were reversed, I'd probably assume the same thing if I heard that a ranger killed his partner. Granted, he knew about it, but what I'm saying is that I don't blame anybody here for any of their decisions or their thoughts. And
But he tortured you.
That's big of you.
that was fucked up.
Yeah, that was.
I'll admit, that was
you-
fucked up.
You're
But
really forgiving for being tortured.
in 5 years in exile, you learn to let things slide and not let emotions affect your decisions. They get you killed.
True.
Honestly, I'm back with my wife and my kid.
How is your kid?
Nothing in the world could make me happier.
Where's the little sport?
And he looks over, 2 seats over. He's kind of... You guys saw him earlier, like, he was definitely behind Yasona most of the time, like a kid behind, like, hiding behind their mom. And he's been real quiet at dinner, and it's gonna take some time. I think he still holds a little blame towards me for the situation, but he's a kid.
Yeah.
He'll get over it.
Yeah, he will.
How good is the food, by the way, that we're eating?
Well, pretty good. Pretty good. It's not, it's not like the traditional farmed animals. You can tell this is all wild caught. There wasn't a lot of like farm area in Nyx, and any of the like green pastures is dedicated to growing fresh plants. You know that they get a lot of like farming and like food deliveries by shipment across the roads, like the trading, because they don't have access to that. But this is very much like they went all out, and the Rangers hunted obviously a lot of sport for this meal, and they might be dipping into some of their reserves and stocks a little bit for it. I mean, it's like you've got a ton of elk. There was a dish that was a little bit more gamey. That's obviously some like wolf or like carnivorous animal. And then there's some like small game stuff like rabbits, things.
Oh man, portion sizes could be bigger for each course, but yeah, how's your rat steak? Is that? What'd you get?
It's not
Did
nearly
you
as
order the
bloody.
sneezy mouse?
I think it's a
Aw.
forest rat.
Oh. Looks good.
You're welcome to try some.
No, that's all you.
Eyeballs are quite delicious.
Oh,
Nice and squishy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you have them. Treat yourself.
I will.
Before the third course, Belfour stands up along with the other 2 rangers at the front table.
I'm gonna stand up with them. Let's look at they're all just like standing up.
He looks at you and just like,
I pulled
Oh.
him back down yet again.
Sorry.
Seriously.
Well, they were doing it. They didn't explain what we were supposed to do.
ding, 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 as he tings the glass. Everybody, we have already thanked and congratulated this party of individuals here who really had no stake in our city but has done us a great service. This is one of the other rangers, not Belfour, talking. But we do have one individual of the group that we'd like to recognize publicly. They are a part of the Rangers Guild, part of our scouting division, our forward division. As you know, we
Stand up and say better now.
we often hire people not from this town to not only spread the idea of the Rangers Guild, but to also put out the good faith for us and represent us in well-mannered. And in her first ever travel to the home city, she managed to save the entire guild. Swift, if you'd please stand up and step out.
Here.
Yeah, and
That's
everybody's,
all you're gonna do. I'm cheering.
yeah, everybody's cheering at this point as she stands up.
That's my Swifty.
Belfour walks out from behind the table, and now you can tell he's carrying like with 2 arms. It is wrapped up in some sort of hide, some items inside. And he walks down, and kind of ushers Swift to step out from the table and come over. And
Spotlight.
we'd like to recognize you for the actions you've taken. I know just a week ago you were promoted to scout, and under these special circumstances, we're going to promote you to ranger, full-fledged.
Oh.
Maybe a little more work, and you might make your way to Greycloak. And he unfolds it, and inside is the
Song.
Frostbrand short sword.
Sorry, what?
Uh,
I fully spaced out
yeah.
there for a second.
It's a
Think
frost.
of the song.
It's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Frostbrand short sword. You get a fully fleshed out northern map. They gave you a rough outline map that kind of detailed the areas you needed to know about, like the river. When you went searching for Yehan, now it is your own full copy that has more trails and information about all the areas north that they've explored up until and into part of the northern impassable range. And there's tons of information to decipher on this: trails, landmarks, places where there's consistent fresh water or food, shelter areas. So if you ever travel north, you're going to be able to make it through pretty easily. You get a ranger's brooch of giant friendliness, which isn't a item you can look up. It's just a custom item you add, and it's a signal that you are a friend of giants as a member of a representative of the Rangers Guild. They're the ones that have the most social contact with giants, and giants have learned to kind of respect that, and that kind of signifies that you're not just any ranger, you're somebody who's they trust to go and represent the Rangers Guild on behalf of them to giants. And then you also can add the language giant to your
3 of us know giant. Now we can talk about Sal without her knowing it.
Did you say that in giantese?
Yeah.
3, 5, 4, foam. Definitely not Sal.
Y'all sound like a bunch of idiots.
That sounds like all of my friends are mentally ill.
I asked her if she
Sure,
broke
you
her
do
mind
that.
earlier. Now she's lying to me again.
You get all that? Cool. And yeah, you are now the rank ranger of the Rangers Guild, which is the 3rd of the 4 ranks. You go back to your seat, he goes back to his, and the 3rd and final course is brought out, and you guys have it, and at which point, after some of you might finish it faster than others, so you're waiting around a little bit, eventually Lord Denner kind of addresses the crowd and he goes, "One more thank you for our individuals here, and we'll call it a night." And so then there's a big round of applause, another round of cheering, and then everybody he gets up and everybody stands up again, and then they leave, and as soon as they leave and the door shuts, everybody starts breaking away from their tables and starting to pack up and head out, and you guys get a bunch of people walking by, pats on the shoulders, thank yous,
Don't touch me.
congratulations.
Stay away. You're big and furry. Sal does her best to avoid all physical, handshakes, hugs, people.
I'll soak it up wherever people congratulate me. Oh yeah.
When they approach me, I just go talk to Manny. He's got cooler stories.
Yeah.
You guys, so first of all, Yasona addresses you guys and goes, we're going to be heading back. Yehan needs his rest. But if you guys are coming back to the tavern tonight, again, your room will be ready. And drinks are on the house, and after he heads to bed, maybe I'll be down to share a drink with you guys.
Awesome.
And so they leave. And you guys are approached by a robed individual that you recognize was sitting on the elevated platform there. Approaches and he goes, "How's it going? You guys won't recognize me, or you haven't met me. I am the court mage. I work for Lord Denner on behalf of the Wizards Guild, and I am the representative here. I got passed along a message that you guys now have access to our inner ring of transportation. The Wizards Guild is known for traveling faster than anybody, and that's to our keen knowledge of teleportation circles. And so we've created a few permanent ones around the continent. There's one in each city, and if you guys need to go anywhere after this, I can transport you there free of charge. Of course, if one of you happens to learn it, you can always teleport back to a city once you're familiar with its runic circle. And so you guys will get to see Nyx's, and I will send you to whatever city you guys would like to go to, and you can then become familiar with theirs. But of course, you'll need to eventually visit each city or have somebody else teleport you there, so that way you can learn it, and then eventually you'll be able to get back at any time, as long as somebody's, of course, able. I know you're a member of the guild. I don't know your magical prowess, but
It is splendid.
sweet, of course. Well,
Smells like farts.
if you need a copy of it, I can copy the spell into your spellbook, or I can show you a scroll so you can copy it into your own spellbook at any time.
If there's different markations and symbols for each city, I think that would be most
Yeah,
pleasant.
of course, you just write them in your notes, but
Mhm.
yeah, as long as you're familiar with the cities and you've seen that city's runic symbol, you can get to it at any time using the spell. Yes. If you guys are ever ready, just come back up, and you guys will be able to find me here. Just ask around, and I'll be able to get you.
As you saying this,
Yes.
would I be able to recall from my dream what symbols were on Faerun?
That's a good question. When you went to Faerun,
Because
you
I saw
would
in the dream.
recognize the symbols.
Okay.
Give me a history check. I'm just trying to recall your memory. You do recall the symbols from the dream
Okay.
that you teleported to. And there was a teleportation, like, circle, like a pre-made carved circle that you teleported to.
14.
14. You know that you know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it might be worth a try, but also you kind of recall being in the stadium
Mm-hmm.
a few months ago
Yeah.
and not seeing much down in that dirt circle
Rubble.
except rubble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was, the stadium was well preserved and that central platform was well preserved, but where you were standing, where the runes were that you teleported to, it was mostly rubble in that dirt courtyard. It wasn't like maybe the stone walls collapsed in or stuff cracked, but there wasn't, like, you don't recall seeing something that was like intricately carved down there that was in good condition by any means.
After having had the dream, would I... So, I know you have to have specific symbols and have been to the city to see symbols. Would I know if something's activating correctly? Like, I'm not just going to teleport myself into dark nether space. So if I were to try and make a connection at some point... This is all thoughts in the back, you know, in my head to... she's thinking about herself, so...
Give me 1 second. I do read the spell to double check.
Next time we see the council, I'm gonna give them some shit. They sent us all the way up here with Greyhound and didn't just teleport us up here.
This is
With-
coming from the guy that didn't go past 3 miles of his original mud hut.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have actually gotten into a teleportation circle that early on?
So you have to link it to a permanent teleportation
Maybe.
circle when you cast it.
Mhm.
So you know how to cast it. If you did cast it and that teleportation circle is no longer present, like it's not a thing anymore, the spell would just fail.
Okay.
You would cast it
Yeah.
and it would use your spell slot, but nothing would happen.
Right.
It would be like trying to teleport and just getting stonewall, like hitting a wall. an
Okay,
invisible
so
magic wall.
there's not a danger in me,
There's
like,
there's not a danger that would like
I get cut in half because it
yeah,
fails.
Yeah, there's regular teleport where like you can do it as an action. Because teleportation circle is a minute cast. You have to draw out the runes and
Yeah.
everything. Teleport is just an action, and that's if you're familiar. Like if you know it, like you teleport in a circle, you can get there straight away. But you have to roll for it. If you are semi-familiar or don't know it, there's a chance you end up halfway across the world. You know?
Yeah.
So teleportation circle does not have that issue.
Okay. Perfect.
Diagonally.
Yes, exactly. Diagonally. Okay. So, that's in the back of Sal's head, but...
Yeah. That kind of concludes conversations at the dinner.
Tomorrow,
everyone seems
can
to
we potentially use your services to get us to another city.
Oh, of course. Like I said, anytime, just come back to the town hall. Ask around. I'll be here. I live upstairs in my chambers, and that's also there's a teleportation circle up there. So ask around. I'll come down, greet you, and take you there, and get you where you need to be. And best of luck.
Perfect.
That concludes the dinner. So if you guys are heading back to the tavern, we're going to go ahead and cut the stream for a short break. And we're back. Had a little bit of a longer break there, but that's okay.
Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah, we got to
Lord
talk
of the
about
Rings.
Lord of the Rings. And it's a
Brandon
rabbit hole.
Sanderson.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to both of those.
Went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a month and a half. So.
Yeah,
Have to catch
nerds.
up on
Nerd culture here. So
All right.
let us know what your favorite Sanderson book is.
Y'all are nerds? I can't be here.
Yeah, I was like, how did we get John here?
tricked me.
Sucker John.
I came here from a manly session of D&D.
That's how I feel about Phil sometimes.
A manny session of D&D.
Manny.
I like that.
Cool. So you guys had finished the dinner. You were leaving the town hall, heading back, presumably to the Brambleberry Inn.
Yes,
Okay.
for the night.
Yeah. Were you guys gonna stay up and have a few drinks? Or were you gonna head to bed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a few drinks, probably.
I was gonna say it takes a bit, but towards the end of your night, Yasona does come down and share a couple drinks with you guys, and again personally thanks you. And again, I owe you gratitude that I cannot repay.
I'm just glad it all worked out. I'm not gonna lie. A little bit nervous.
You guys gave me my family back. Yeah. So again, I can never repay it, but anytime you guys come to Nick's, drinks on the house, free lodging, of course. Anytime, just let me know.
Lodging would be much appreciated. I mean, some people, the drinks too, but...
Instead of having or asking her for free drinks, I'm going to wait for people to buy my drinks. Just make sure that, the bar is still making money, and make sure that people want to buy me a drink. I'm not going to stop them.
You get a couple, actually. There's definitely, you recognize there's a few rangers in here from that dinner. Again, the public doesn't really know about you guys, but there are a few rangers from that dinner that are aware of your involvement that do come up and buy you guys rounds.
Or those are only drinks I'm drinking
Okay.
tonight.
Cool. Yeah, definitely being a little bit enticing about it, where you you drink the drink and you're like, that was a good one, and
Yeah.
wave it up and kind of look around, and finally somebody kind of pokes their head over and is like, can I buy you a drink?
Oh, why, of course.
Oh, yeah, if you're offering.
If
Yeah.
you're offering. Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're offering, I'll be taken.
Yeah. And so she has a little heart-to-heart with you guys and shares a couple drinks and, recounts a couple tales of how her and Yehan met and their life together before the incident and stuff, and the things she's looking forward to again, like having a whole family, stuff like that. And eventually she calls it a night, and because she's, you can tell she's emotionally drained.
Yeah.
She's very exhausted. It's been a roller coaster of 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's people here suddenly asking about her husband. Now her husband's back and he's gonna die. And 3 days of waiting, counting down for his execution. The day of his execution, the town's under siege, the giants. And next thing she knows, whiplash. Hey, your husband's alive. The leader's dead of the Rangers Guild, and we're doing an investigation. But your dad or your husband still might be killed. But we're giving it a second chance to investigate. To suddenly no, he's cleared of all innocence. We're so sorry.
And then overwhelmed with the amount of people coming
then-
in
and
and
then,
saying
yeah.
stuff.
People coming in and trying to apologize, and her just trying to focus on her work while her bar is busier than ever. And yeah, you can tell she's she doesn't stay for a lot of drinks. She is just immediately. You can tell as she starts to drink and gets more relaxed, she starts to immediately almost fall asleep at the table. So she heads
Are you
back to bed.
hanging out in the bar area? Are you intimidating any bands? Or you in the room?
No, I'd be reading my book.
Okay, gotcha. I'll, before I go to bed, I want to nudge and be like, doesn't it feel good to do good?
No. They're not taking it serious enough. Only the Lord was. Let's kill these fuckers.
It was a man
Manny.
of action.
Let's kill these fuckers, Manny.
Well,
Who?
I say it feels good to do good because I'm feeling great after those few drinks.
That sounds very simplistic life approach, and I believe life is a little bit more complicated than that. But I'm glad for you, Manny.
Yeah. Well, I hope you find happiness one day.
Who says I'm not happy?
Sounds like you're not. Oh, good
I'm
night.
Yeah, you guys head to bed for a night of rest.
Yeah.
Each of you in your rooms, on your beds, there is a small pouch, decent sized pouch, not super small, and a little letter. And each one is just a simple thank you letter. Again, like from Yasona, appreciating what you've done for her and her family. And you can each add 1,000 platinum.
Whoa! How did she have that much
God.
money? Dang.
It's a popular tavern. It was a popular tavern.
That you
The
kept
last 2
influencing
days.
people to.
It's a popular tavern and bar prior to his declaration of innocence, and it has been booming since.
Just gave out 40,000 gold. God damn.
1,000 platinum.
1,000 platinum each.
Getting ready for the next day, I'm gonna leave my ring of warmth, maybe with a note like, to the next weary traveler, whoever needs it.
Cool. Leave it on the bed.
Yeah. But just getting ready for like the next day.
Yeah. Cool. You guys, again, can long rest. I think you guys haven't done anything, so it's not
No.
an issue. You wake up the next morning. Heading downstairs. Yusona's not downstairs. She's not bartending. Somebody else is taking care of the bar. But you guys are welcome to do whatever.
What are our next steps?
Well, we were sitting here by the council, so maybe we should go back to report everything that happened. That's only my suggestion.
Okay. Somebody already reported it. Do we need to report it our own ideas? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, maybe if they need to have us investigate any other suspicious areas or any other suspicious activities that we need to investigate.
Okay. I mean, it's worth going down. I think I have a ship in Port Novus I have to catch. And I would prefer if you guys came with me, but I can't require it of you.
Well, like my grandpappy used to say, we've got to stick together like flies on a turd, so let's all head to Port Novus.
Just like that.
We sure you want to do that before we check in somewhere else?
Well, if you will, I think we should go to the council first, because that seems to be further away. Then we can make our way up to Port Novus if
Okay.
you have business there.
Yes.
Especially since the mage will teleport us.
Hopefully.
Then they could teleport us from the tower as well.
Most likely.
Would be
Then
beneficial.
after Port Novus venture, I should be able to get us back at that point to the tower and in point.
Oh, excellent.
Be a strong city to have at least the runes for.
Port Novus?
I'm assuming. Well, no, the tower.
Yeah.
And then have somebody
Geisha was
from.
the one that we screwed up in, right?
That was a military town, right?
Okay.
What are you talking about? Screwed up, and I don't think there's any screwing up in Legatio.
I wasn't there for that.
It was all diplomacy in action.
Okay.
But
Novus is where we started, right? And sailed over to Legatio?
No, you guys started in Legatio.
and then we went to Artis.
Well, but there was a... Where did our ship sail from?
Your ship was supposed to sail to Port Novus. You guys were kidnapped by the ghost ship.
Gotcha.
Woke up. escaped the
Pre-stream
ghost ship,
information.
chose to what?
Pre-stream information.
Free stream. Yeah, it was the first session. You guys all fell asleep on the ship and then woke up in a prison hold of some sort of ghost ship. Your initial ship, nowhere to be seen. Getting up, the ship is in tatters. It is broken. It's like a ghost ship. It's got holes all over it and a tattered sail, and all the wood is charred and black. And luckily, there's 2 lifeboats, or I think there's like 4. Most of the crew hopped in their their lifeboats and sailed north to Port Novus. You guys grabbed the last one and decided to sail south to Legatio.
And
Gotcha.
rescue Sal.
Mm-hmm.
Legatio was the first city you guys entered. You guys didn't get to Port Novus until you were traveling north with Graham's body at that point.
And even then, we didn't stay long in Port Novus.
You did not.
No.
That was the one that they told us to get in and get out pretty quick, wasn't it? Or no? Was it Legatio that gave us a night?
Legatio gave you a night because it was under essentially the slums, the first level of the city, and the city's, the entrance in the dock street is on the first level, and it's gated as it climbs up the hill, the cliffside. The first level seemed to be pretty much all the city guards had moved out of it, and it was now under the control of religious zealots of the Divine Five, wearing essentially plate mail and cloaks and setting curfews and telling people who can and can't enter the city, and basically providing escorts through the city of like, no, you're going to go to the tavern and you're going to sleep there all night, and when you wake up, we're going to escort you to the dock, and you're not going to go anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, teleporting to the tower.
I gotta go talk to Mage. He didn't give out his name, but he's up in the squirrel tree.
Oh yeah, the wizard. Any more
This will
business?
be really beneficial for you, correct?
What do you mean?
I'm assuming, because he was saying that wizards, and you were asking a lot of questions to him, so I'm assuming if you learn how to get us to the tower, you would then be able to get us to the tower another time later.
I said that like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
She's just reiterating. Just making sure you can. We know how trustworthy you are.
A little slow on the uptake there, isn't she?
Yeah.
Well, it's good to reconfirm a few things.
Is it? Just know.
Why are you threatening people?
I'm not threatening nobody.
Okay. Let's
Do
go.
I seem threatening to you all?
Always.
That's probably a good thing.
You literally threaten everyone we come across.
I do not.
The band when we first got the Knicks at the Brambleberry.
I did not.
Yeah, you kind of did.
I did not.
They were terrified
I
of
simply
you.
watched.
Yeah, that's what terrified them.
I'm sorry people have issues with green.
Okay. We're gonna go see this wizard.
Yeah. Unless if anyone else has like business in Knicks that we need to finish up. Before we leave, has Belfour do you all know when you're gonna have a new guild leader? There's elections tomorrow.
End of week we'll have an election to decide the new guild leader.
Actually, now that we have you here anyways, would you mind if occasionally, if information is relevant, if I check in with you?
Of course, anytime. Be happy to hear.
I can't always guarantee that I'll trust whoever's in charge, but from Yehan's account and my own observance, I feel like I can trust you, so
I don't know. I appreciate it.
don't do anything to screw that up. We're running out of people we can trust.
I'll try.
Alright, well, let's go talk to that wizard.
Okay.
So we'll go to that tree mansion in the middle of the city.
Yeah, and you just ask one of the people that are around, obviously still cleaning up from last night, and he directs you up the stairs into a room, and you see the wizard that is currently reading over some textbooks in kind of a loungy environment. He looks up. Oh, of course, and snaps the book shut. Where would you guys like to go?
The tower, please. That way.
Yes, of course, easy enough. Follow me, and takes you to a separate room. Going through a doorway, there's immediately 2 guards that are posted in the room.
Mages?
No, just like guards of that, like kind of similar to the guards at the jailhouse, where they're like the city guards.
Yeah.
And while the city guards don't patrol the streets, they do man like the prison and the safety of the lord in the house and like the basic stuff. He ushers you over to kind of a runic center, and you get a chance to trace and read the runes and mark them off in your book, so have Nyx is one of those locations. And he spends about 10 minutes casting a spell and activating the runes before they glow, and a kind of gateway appears that he ushers you guys through, and he goes, best of luck, thanks again, and feel free to come back anytime. And as you guys go through, there's again that flashlight, and as you appear in a similarly styled room. There's an individual at a desk, though, that is facing you guys as you enter and looks up. And, like, does something on the desk, hits a button or a bell, or, like, you hear, like, this, like, kind of cling. And at which point, points towards the door next to you for you guys to leave. And you get a very heavy magical aura from this room. Like, maybe he's there to just, like, you're not supposed to be here. Click, boom. Like, obviously there's some sort of trap mechanism in there because they don't have the guards, but there is somebody there to greet. You guys head out, and you're out onto the first floor of
Am I able to notice the runes?
Yeah, you get a chance to easily sketch them down. Like, it's not like welcome, get out. It's more just like, all right, there's the door when you're ready.
Yeah.
And you can turn around. It doesn't take you long. Just like, okay, this, because they're all shaped the same. It's just the runes in each, like, notch around the circle. Like, the general shape is the same, but there's, like, 4 or 5 runes in each one in these little boxes that are unique to the location.
Is there any sensation to us moving through this? Just feels like stepping through the doorway?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, like... It's a little, like, jarring.
Okay.
Where it's a flash of light and you feel kind of like this, like, natural push on your body, and then suddenly you're in a different place, kind of in the same location, but the footing feels a little off. Like, as if... that feeling when you, like, roll your ankle where it's suddenly like, whoa, like, where'd my footing go?
Oh, yeah,
but
I know that feeling.
you're on solid ground, so it's like, you're not breaking ankles. It's just like that sudden, like, shift where your, like, knees kind of buckle for a second. You're like, oh.
Well,
one day I'll stop giving you a hard time about that.
Maybe.
Today is not the day.
who do we need to tell in the tower that we're here?
I can never remember his name, but I talk to him frequently.
Terrace.
Terrace. Did not know that. We need to talk. Well, Terrace would probably be our first point of check because he tends to be the only point of check that we. So.
I will state this now.
Okay.
I don't trust any of them.
The council.
We should murder them all.
How do you suppose we...
Some of
Do
them
that.
are definitely stronger than us by a lot.
Well, we do quests and we come back and then we murder them.
Fine. But once they prove untrustworthy.
Oh,
yes.
they are already untrustworthy.
How do you know?
They didn't even tell us about the teleport. What else are they keeping secrets from us?
Probably a lot, but it could be for the better.
You can ask them why they didn't tell us about the teleport.
I'm not saying shit to these snakes.
You're the same. Dang, you just used your own race as a slur.
She's not a
I'm
snake.
a auntie, not a snake.
But once again,
You
at least-
visited my people before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bunch of snakes.
There's no.
Yeah.
No. I'm not small. I don't slither.
Kind of do.
My tongue flips out at you.
Yeah, you do that a lot in your sleep too.
Does it keep you up at night?
No. I'm a heavy sleeper, but yeah, I'm hear it every once in a while.
It's better than your snoring.
Oh, I can
let's ask
imagine.
them why they didn't tell us about the teleportation.
No,
I will ask them.
I'm staying silent.
Well, let's see if Terrace is here.
Okay.
Don't trust any of their words, Swifty.
Okay. Swifty, don't listen to him.
Her.
Is it that hard to really tell?
Listening. That's why I said okay.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, it is.
There's like a front desk clerk or
Yeah.
someone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a much better way. I was thinking about just being obtrusive and going through his thoughts, but that's much easier for all of us, isn't it?
Yeah, approaching the front desk person again. Well, there's like high desks where it's like at your eye level, so they're looking down on you.
Mhm.
Yeah, how can I help?
We're trying to get in touch with Terrace.
And what's your name?
Manny.
Just Manny.
Manny.
Okay.
Manny. It's Manny.
Manny.
Yep.
All right.
There's an E in the first one and an A in the second
If
one.
you guys want to take a seat, he might be down. I'll let you know.
We changed
A couple minutes pass. A couple minutes pass, and he goes, "It'll be down in a second." And then, sure enough, after less than a minute, out strolls from one of the little pocket corners where those like teleportation, like the minor teleportation rings that people you can see are like stepping in and out, and as they step in, it's just like a puff of smoke and they're gone that take you to the different levels.
Ministry of Magic version. Yeah.
Very similar, yeah. He walks out and immediately approaches. It's good to see you guys. How have you been? We got word from the Rangers Guild about all the news. Terrible business. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. The council's going to be adjourning here in a few days. Once the Rangers Guild figures out who their leader and representative is going to be. You guys are welcome to join for the meeting if you have any other information to add. That's not going to be for 3 or 4 days. Yeah, what can I help you with right now?
Oh, we were just gonna fill you in on the details, but if there's a council meeting, we can just share information with everyone.
Yeah, the Rangers Guild gave us the gist of it. We learned about the notes, the involvement. Somebody somehow leaked the information about the council, and we're pretty sure it was him, but for sure, like we're still working on that. But
Are you trying to figure out if somebody inside the council is not who they say they are, or not?
I can neither confirm nor deny. I will, however, say that you guys aren't of any suspicion because you guys didn't know about the council until you showed up to the meeting. So you are one of few people that there's no suspicion being thrown, but I cannot confirm or deny whether what is or isn't talked about.
Okay. Are we are invited to this council meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Should we stay for a few days and figure out and stay for the council meeting?
Or if we have time to kill, we can take care of your Port Novus business.
I don't know if that'll necessarily be quick.
Or yeah, we can spend a few days here. Yeah, I've got nowhere else to be. My whole goal was just to speak with the council.
How is our friend?
Smith?
Yes.
Yes. I haven't talked to him any time recently, but I believe he's doing fine.
Do you know where we could check in on him?
Yeah, I think he's still staying in the same place that we put up for him. I'll give you the address.
Thank you.
Of course.
That's all I need. If anybody else has anything they need.
Well, you'll probably find us where we stayed last time. That's with like the 2 gnomes, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So in 2 to 3 days, yeah, come find us and we'll be there for the council meeting. In the meanwhile, if you need to reach out to us, same thing, just give us a shout.
Of course. Yeah. I'll see you guys in a couple of days.
Sal just flits her tongue at him a couple times.
Yep. And he walks back and disappears into one of the...
That is the nicest he's ever been. Which is suspicious.
I told you, I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people you don't like. I'm not even sure you like us. So go check on Smith and then go find housing, or find housing and be done for the day.
Well, what about the 2 gnomes we stayed with last time? You
Well,
stay
that's
with
what I
them?
mean.
Okay,
Do we
yeah.
want to go check in with them
Well,
and then
sure.
talk to Smith, or do we want to...
Let's check in with the gnomes so that way if they receive any messages that need our attention, then we'll have a correspondence.
Okay. That way also they know they have house guests. Might be nice.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Like 8
2
p.m.
o'clock in the morning.
Hey, it's your boys.
It's your boys.
Those are your girls and your boy.
And your boy.
I'll catch up with you all. I've got some business to attend to.
Okay.
What business do you have in the city?
Yeah, that's
My
my
own.
last questions.
All right.
Maybe she'll figure out things that we want. Sorry, I just got really interested in the weather report and just the fact that could we possibly not have school tomorrow?
For this, it's like 3 to
Supposed to snow
5
tonight a
inches.
bunch.
Yeah.
Really?
Was it 3 to 5 inches?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, park up at the highway tonight.
Yeah, I might make call of driving to work tomorrow. Sorry. ADHD.
You're doing your own thing. I guess we'll go check in with the gnomes.
Yes.
Okay.
See if they wouldn't mind housing us.
After they meander and leave, Sal would go check like the message board for any mage quests or mage guild quests.
Yeah.
See if there's anything updated, particularly in the Port Novus area.
For the most part, the Mage Guild doesn't do like the questing nearly as much. It's
Mhm.
kind of the general like provide new information through your research
Right.
about history and lore and magic. If you feel like you have some new magic that you don't think that the guild has access to or knows about, then like that kind of information is valued.
Okay. Outside of that, I would make my way to the back towards the library with my pass and sit there poring over more of a religious text, actually, particularly in search of these figures described as they were described in my dream.
Yeah.
And for suspicious reasons, Sal won't be headed towards the gnome's home. She'll be finding her own lodging because she doesn't want the tower to know where she's at.
The figures you saw do very much fit the outline that you saw on the flag. Remember when you guys saw the like religious flag when you visited Faerun, the ancient city, and I talked about there's these 5 figures that each had their own symbol of magic, and like one of them meant like abjuration, and like each one had its own symbol that was associated to the outline, but it was like shadowy outlines, not painted figures. In your mind, that set figure very much matches the description, and recalling your information talking to Smith about, shortly before the city kind of went to shit and everybody fled, there was a new person that showed up with that help, like the guiding hand. That kind of like introduced this new form of magic that kind of made everybody, like the sickness, start to draw upon the people. The scenes that you're seeing in the dream very much match up with that. That story, and so they're starting to like transcribe and make it more public knowledge, like the history that you guys uncovered. So you're starting to see similar notes to that. And then on that note, there is a few more lines of text about like what were the values of the civilization that was associated with it, because other people have gone out and started to explore places associated. Looking directly into it, you will notice there's a section that Faroon is now being actively explored because the Gensai brothers have cleared out the dragon. And now that threat is no longer present, there are people that are in the city currently studying the culture and trying to figure out, pull what information they can out of it.
But nothing that's like black and white, like this person was wearing a white robe or anything like that. Not so much on their physical.
No.
All right.
There's like the physical outlines of them that they describe. The similar, like you find the drawing of the flag that you guys saw, like the banner with their outlines and their symbols, and that exists, and that's how that like kind of snaps your memory of like, oh my god, these figures that I saw in color and detail match up with what the books have. All the tower knows are the outlines of those. They don't have like definition and color that you saw.
And then after some time spending in opening books, I'd just leave them on the table because she doesn't have interest in putting things away.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but then other people will know what you were reading.
And she'd make a quick exit from the tower. And pretty much find not even a tavern per se, but a dry spot outside.
For sure. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's getting cold. You're on the coast, but it is pretty far south, and so it's still relatively warmer climates here at the tower. Be like the Northern California coast kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's like it's still in the like 60s, 70s.
She wouldn't be too worried about it.
Cool.
Should find a safer spot.
Yeah. You guys, where are you three heading?
We're gonna go to the gnome house to let them know that we're here to stay with them.
Yeah.
See if we can stay with them.
Heading in, knocking on the door, and just immediately open. You see a familiar female gnome with the frizzled white hairs. Oh my god! How have you guys been? Come in! I'll get a pot of tea going right now. And she like immediately runs into that kitchen that is like an overgrown jungle inside of the kitchen, and starts like pulling leaves off the wall and like starting to mix stuff up to make. And she's like, Gregory, get your ass down here! And then eventually like the older gnome gentleman comes down. He goes, oh, how have you guys been? Please take a seat.
We've been good. We've been missing y'all and your delicious home cooking.
Have you guys heard from Ben at all?
No, he's made it to not a recluse.
A sanctuary.
A sanctuary.
Oh, good for him.
Others. Yeah, and he seems really happy.
Oh, good.
So I guess we haven't heard anything negative, is what.
Oh,
we should say.
wonderful. Yeah, I haven't had any contact with him since he left. I'm surprised. I thought he was camping somewhere nearby. I expected him to come visit at some point, but new home, new people. It takes a while to adjust, and I'm sure he's still in the process of settling into a civilized area, not quite living out in the woods on his own like he used to be.
Yeah, and we've been meaning, it's on our list to go back in and check on him.
Of course. Well, if you see him, tell him we say hi, we miss him, and we'd love to have him over for dinner anytime.
Of course.
We were wondering if we could house here tonight.
Of course, yes, the guest.
Thank you.
Yes.
And if we may receive a letter for our attention, if you do,
We'll keep
come
an
find
eye
us.
out.
I would appreciate it. Y'all are the best for that. Appreciate
Of
it.
course.
What time of day is it?
It is like mid-afternoon.
Okay. We're just gonna go run out and see another friend. Sal may or may not come. I don't know. She went off, so we'll check in with Sal later. But if she makes it here, she gets her own room. Swift and I
Sure.
will stay in one room.
One for
I'll stay with Sal.
Of course.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. And as you guys are about to leave, like she comes running out with like some like cups.
Oh.
It's like, take the tea with you.
Oh, of
Actually, we
course.
can sit for some tea.
Yeah, we'll love to have a
Lovely.
little tea
Feel
time.
some.
Let's sit
Feel
down.
bad leaving without the tea. We'll ask her if
Yeah.
anything weird has happened around here, or anything unusual happened, or really fun in the town.
Business seems normal. After you guys visited the last time, Gregory here, he got summoned to the tower, and he actually got passed on some information as a historian and a record keeper. He got to review some of the information that you guys actually discovered, and has been part of the process of transcribing the information that some of the other people have been getting from Faroon. Is Faroon? He's like, Faroon. She's like,
You're a historian of Faroon.
he's just a record keeper. And you can tell he's kind of like about to speak, but she keeps like saying it for him. He's like, yeah. She's like, yeah. He's a historian. I mean, he's been keeping records for a long time, and that's his niche, and it comes in handy with the extended age of gnomes.
Whoa.
So we're gonna go see Smith.
Yes.
Have you seen him lately?
No. We saw him the first time you guys came, and then we never really talked to him, and then he was talking with the tower for a long time, and she kind of at this point finally lets up, and Gregory steps in. He's like, the tower got most of the information they needed from him, and so he was just hanging out in town, but I don't recall if he's actually been back to the tower, had any sort of conversation, or there's been any more interviews with him in the past week or so.
Okay. Thanks. More of wondering what he's doing right now. Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
of course.
We're gonna go make our way to him, so we'll check in tonight.
All right. We'll see you guys when we get back.
Cheers with the tea. It's delicious as always. Even though it's like piping hot, I'm just downing it. So
It's
we
not
can
cold
leave.
like your mud.
Yeah. Good old cold mud. Mud brew.
Yeah, drink it before it gets
Cold
hot.
It's cold brew.
Drink it before it gets hot.
Before it gets too warm.
I want to change the trajectory of Sal. I think she would make her way close to the gnome's house,
Yeah.
but more of a lookout.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. You probably by the time you make it there, you catch them leaving
mhm. She'd stay around the gnome's house. She knows.
near the area for sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to go visit to Smith. I want to go check out the Assassin's Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, whichever one you want to do first.
Are you gonna follow him if he's going there, or
Oh, I'm not going to let
No.
them follow me to the
Yeah.
Assassin's Guild.
so you guys are heading to
Smith.
Smith? Cool. We'll do the Assassin Guild first.
Okay.
You make your way. You've been here before. Fighting, doing the knock,
Down the
heading
alley.
in. A couple rough characters in a back room with no windows. And
I'm kind of rough
one-
character myself, as I want to come by.
one of the individuals, the fence, he gives you a nod. He's like, heard you made it up the ranks a little bit.
Yep. Yes, I did. I just waved that little dagger of venom around. Doing the old manny thing.
Careful flashing off your valuables. Someone might kill you for it.
Hey, that's good. I wish they would try. All right. What's next for a job for old reliable Manny?
I don't know. I mean, you can check the board, but I don't know. It's just your usual nobles, rich folks. Somebody pissed off somebody else. Somebody was screwing somebody else's wife. The usual.
Let me take a look at the board. Is there any like high prize ones?
There's like a few for a couple thousand gold. That are like. It's very much just like this nobleman did this, like double crossed or like cut back on a deal, or yeah, this person has a personal vendetta, and it's like nothing that sticks out to you as like a some like high name, high value target. Nothing that's like off the chain, like off super expensive or rewarding. But like there's one for like 2,500, one for 1,000, one for 1,500.
I'll go back to the guy and it's like, you got any big scores or any big prizes? You know, keep hidden in the back.
I don't know. I mean, far and few between that you get anything over a few thousand gold, and when you do, it's all hands on deck. First person to the prize. I was gonna say after you took care of that one's been sitting on the board for a long time. So
No other ones like that?
nothing at the moment. I mean, you gotta remember that's once in a few years, and hell, you took out one that's been sitting there for 5 years now.
Well, if there's anything else I can do to advance in the ranks, just let me know, since I might be getting past some of these petty squabbles of killings.
For sure. We'll let you know if anything comes up.
All right. I'll head on out and probably go back to the gnome's house just to chill for the day.
You guys follow the directions that Terrace passed off to you to just a house in the middle of town. Nothing special. Knocking at the door. You guys don't get like a reply, and it sounds quiet in the house.
Smith.
Doesn't sound like anybody's home. Lights are off. Like there's no like lit candles inside or anything.
I'm gonna do ascending and say, back in town, I just stop and see you. Okay. Send out. Officially.
You don't get any response.
Oh, he ghosted you.
Suspicious.
Okay. Swifty, what are the odds that you can get us into this location without it looking suspicious?
I can try.
I mean, it's worth a try. Yeah, let's do that. Can you get us in?
Can I just try opening the door first?
It's unlocked.
Damn it, Katie!
I did it.
I did it.
You're so amazing. Man, all these skills we never would have known you had.
It's a new ranger feat.
Just opening
Thinking
doors.
to open the door.
Thinking about opening doors.
Opening the door.
Well, let's go have a poke around real quick, if you don't mind. I'm gonna do another sending.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, hey Manny.
Oh, for me.
Yeah, we got to Smith's house. He's not here.
God.
God, is that you?
Sent a message and no response.
Grandpa?
Grandpa.
In case things go bad. This is obviously Phoenix.
Cool. I can't. Can I do a reply back
Yeah.
for free? Okay. Cool. At Gnome's house, drinking tea. It's real good. Could use mud. Tea's too warm.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. I don't actually respond that.
Yeah. Entering the house, it's very simple. It's simple living. Like, the kitchen is bare bones, the tables are bare bones. It's obviously a place that's like used. That's like minimal effort has been put in, but it's a livable condition. It's obviously just given to somebody who doesn't have an income. There's not any like pictures or anything up. So the first floor is pretty empty. The house does smell gross, like mildewy almost. And all the lights are off. Heading upstairs to where you presume the rooms are. As you head up the stairs, you are hit by a pretty sour smell. It is like burning your nostrils. And it's a smell that you are particularly familiar with, Phoenix.
I was worried about this. Swift, I don't know if you'll want to come any further. I have a feeling our friend Smith is dead.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, with all of his family gone, what, a couple 100 years out of his timeline? I don't know how much I'd want to be here either. You can stay down here though. Keep watch, and then I'll go upstairs and see if anything's happening. Happens that should be suspicious. I'll log in.
Okay. Heading upstairs into the bedroom, the smell gets worse and worse. And you open the door and immediately are hit by the like hot stench of decay. And on the bed is his body starting to decay at this point. Like, things are starting to break down, and you can tell there's a very obvious like gash wound across his stomach, like just straight across. And his hands at the side, and there is a knife in his hand that is like blood is dried onto the knife. And his like eyes are open. He's on the bed. His hands. He's still. I mean, I guess he's starting to decay. It's kind of hard to make out great details of him. He doesn't look good. And then
Should look
on
up how long it takes for a body to decay.
I've already had to do that once. And then on the desk is a note that's like folded like a triangle.
I will go pick up some notes.
Lies and slander.
Open it up. It
Lies
just
and
reads,
slander.
The note.
Yeah. He didn't
"To whom
do
it
this.
concerns, I'm sorry. I can't live here anymore. This isn't my world."
It's Illuminati. It's
Everything's
Illuminati.
Oh
conspiracy.
my gosh, I can't handle
Yeah, and it's a
Sal'enna
very-
being conspiracy
Yeah,
theorist.
like it's obviously it's
hot
written
on the trail.
very carefully and like very like
fucking gnomes.
well written handwriting. That's like
Do you not
meant to be
see?
as
And
legible as
there's
possible.
nothing that's does anything make her suspicious that he did not kill himself.
Give me
That's a yes.
a perception check. Give me a perception check.
Do I talk with Dad?
I think I have talked with Dad.
Then you should be doing that.
I don't know if she
Have a
wants
mental
to.
check.
I have animate Dad.
Where's mine?
He wanted to speak with Smith.
That is 18.
18. There's a party that just wants to be suspicious about it, but in terms of like,
My passive is 19.
yeah, I mean like there's a part of you that's like, but, and it's like, is it like, are there reasons for it? Like, is this really fishy, or is this just part of the grief? And you can't really define a difference between that, but yes and no. It's like part of it's like there's nothing that stands out to you that's like, oh, this was a setup or something like that. But there's a party that's immediately like doesn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Give me an investigation check. Nothing. All the dishes are put away. The place is pretty clean.
I will do one last sending to Terrace.
Okay.
And say, I've checked on Smith and found he killed himself. I am putting him to rest as I see fit.
There's like half a second of pause before it's just like, wait. What do you mean? No, we're on our way. Please don't touch anything. And that's it. There is one other thing of note in the room that I should say. On the same nightstand there on the, you'd be facing like on your right, his left side nightstand, is the hammer. That is like family crest, beautifully carved, like intricate hammer. That was his smith tool that he went in, like when he asked to follow you guys back to the city, went and dug up from under a stone on like his.
I will take that.
Okay.
And I will hide it not in my pack, but like on my person.
Okay. Yeah.
And I will stand there even though it's disgustingly smelly. And oh no, I guess that doesn't do what I wanted it to do. Yeah. So I will stand there ready.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take long. Swift, you are downstairs investigating the bottom, and immediately comes rushing in like 2 armed guards and Terrace tailing behind, like out of breath, panting. Terrace is, the guards aren't. And immediately they're like, "Halt! Don't touch anything." And Terrace is like, "It's okay, they're with us, but again, please don't touch anything." The body, where is it?
Upstairs.
All right. You stay here. You with me. And one of the guards and Terrace goes running upstairs, and you hear it. Them coming in and yelling at Swift, and then running upstairs. And Terrace is like, walks in. As soon as he comes into the door and smells it, you can tell he's like, "Oh, like this is not his cup of tea. He's not a dude for death." And he's,
Don't breathe through your nose or your mouth. Really, it's
he's
just
like,
a.
he's holding up the
Don't
contours that you found, and
Obviously, I didn't do this.
everything is here. You didn't touch anything, didn't change anything.
Well, I picked up that note there.
Okay, and that's it. It was just like that when you found it.
Well, it was kind of actually folded like this.
Okay.
I've left it like that, but because
Okay.
I would have just put it down.
You come with me. God, if you could just secure the area. Whoa. And like the guard is also kind of like, yeah, whatever you say, sir. And he kind of tries to usher you out with him, Phoenix.
Okay.
He runs out the front door and immediately and like pukes like out the front door on the side.
See, and you thought that was disgusting. Ew.
Sorry, I'm not one for.
I can tell.
This is a little much for me.
None of you thought to check on him. I mean, that is over days. Like, that's a while up there.
Whew. I didn't get that good of a look, I'll be honest. No. I mean, he honestly, we just wanted to give him the space. I guess at the end, like, after we got done with through most of the questions, he just, I don't know, just seemed tired. Seemed like it'd been a long few weeks for him.
And none of you thought, oh, this is a man that is hundreds of years out of time. Maybe we should guide him through this process.
Sorry.
I'm really disappointed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this is. It's not good, and I don't know. I need to inform Mita. The guards are gonna take care of this. There'll be a formal investigation, of course. Hopefully, we'll know more by the council meeting.
Hopefully.
Once they're done, if you would like to handle burial rites of the body and stuff, as you guys probably were closer to him than us, we'll release it to you. Just allow them to take whatever investigation they need. And he's like, we'll be in touch, and kind of leaves. Still, like, kind of
Okay.
wiping his mouth. Like,
Just like that. You got something right there.
you can tell as he walks away, he pulls something out of his, like,
Ugh.
pouch, and then does, like, the head back that you see, and then there's a second, and then you just see, like, spits out a bunch of, like, fluid. He, like, obviously is washing his mouth out.
Disgusting. Okay. Well, Swift. I think we need to head back for the night. Yeah. I think I need to find Sal. I don't think I have a bag of holding. No. Oh, I have a handy haversack. That's basically the same thing, right? I'm putting his hammer in my handy haversack.
Okay.
Because that's basically the same thing, right? To where...
Yeah. So it's pretty similar to a bag of
Actually, I
holding.
would still prefer to put it in Sal's. I'm gonna burn an earlier spell slot,
Mhm.
or a bigger spell slot, because I ran out of Sunday ones.
Am I gonna try and scry on her?
No. I know, right? We found Smith dead. It didn't seem suspicious, but it may have been. I would like to store his hammer with you. Please. And that's it.
There's a long delay. It goes all the way to the top. I told you so. I will see you in 3 days.
I will cast another Sunday. Before then, will you please come get this freaking hammer? You can even steal it off of me from my room at the cottage. I don't care. Just take it and hide it in your things.
Meet me at 10 p.m. on 10th and 149th.
Okay.
Exactly on the cross street.
It's like a 45-minute walk away from the Twindle house. It's on the other side of the city.
I know we need her, but sometimes that woman drives me freaking batty.
You're just speaking that to no one?
No, I'm telling it to Swifty. Yeah, Swifty's there. I think I just talked to
Yeah.
myself. Okay, that's it for me.
Yeah, you can spend the night.
When y'all get back, I'm like, oh, did you tell Smith I said hello?
You didn't get to tell Smith anything.
Oh, was he was gone for the day, right? He was
Gone.
probably busy talking.
Forever.
Did he
Dead.
Oh,
Dead.
wait. So
I-
he's dead?
He's dead.
What happened? How'd he die?
To me, it looked like suicide, but How fast the console got there, I don't know. I can't be sure.
Oh.
Manny, do you have a bag of holding?
No, I just got my handy dandy backpack.
Okay, thank you. You
Why-
don't have a bag of holding, do you? Need it?
We can probably go shopping. We got.
No, I have something that is like it, but
Well, let's go shopping tomorrow. We got money from.
we do. We can definitely go shopping if you need to.
Ah,
I don't necessarily need to go shopping, but we can. That's for sure. Okay. I'm gonna try to sleep.
It's a hard night to sleep.
Wow. Sal shows up at 10th and 149th and is like,
Oh, I thought you said
Oh.
3 days from now.
yeah, that was like
Or 2 days from
No.
now.
later.
Okay, well then
It's-
I do
yeah.
that.
I was gonna say, yeah, no. The first conversation was she'll see you in 3 days. That's why you sent the second message. Is like, no, I want you to take this hammer. She's like,
Okay.
okay, meet me here at this time.
Okay, I would have done that.
Yeah. So you get to bed later than everybody else.
Yeah.
You wake up, like take a nap, wake up, walk across town, give her the hammer, walk back, and then fall asleep. And I presume you probably trailed her there from the
oh yeah.
the Twiddle House, like 2 blocks behind, watching her mopily walk to the other side of the city. Just like,
I've cast disguise self on myself too, so I've changed myself.
What do you look like?
I've tried to appear more human in feature. Still dark hair, still purple eyes, and then my clothing more raggedy, less immaculate.
And I would have told her all about Smith.
Yeah.
I know you don't trust the council. Still the right thing to do.
But no, it wasn't. You told the people that did this.
I need you to hold on to this.
Okay. I
Because
won't.
they're more likely to check my stuff than they are to check your stuff.
Yes, because somebody's sneaky and smart.
And also sometimes...
Not gonna get caught.
You mean a snaky snake?
Okay,
There are spiders and webs about.
thank you.
Goes
Okay,
all the way to the top.
thank you. Sure.
Okay,
You'll take this?
I guess.
Thank you.
When I touch it, is there any sort of organic resonance on it? Anything that would make Sal go into a fritz?
no.
Okay,
No.
so I'm not like getting any tracer spells or anything like that.
Nothing
that I would.
freaks you out, but you do get the sense that there is some sort of magical enchantment to this hammer. Like it does have some sort of magical aura. Like you do get that twang from it, but
Here we go. This is the artificer story you're starting with. This is your art
But,
now.
Artificer arc.
nothing that immediately like you touch and you're like, oh my god, flood of memories. I see God again or something.
No. I was mostly. It wasn't that. It was.
Yeah.
It was mostly like.
The
Do I feel?
prophecy fulfilled.
Yeah.
Harry
Sal,
Potter touching the wand and just. Yeah, none of that. Just like you do
I
get
have
the twang
to
that
put
this.
this in my sack while I am not participating in sleeping at the gnome's house? Can I study this?
You can do what you want as long as it doesn't get into hands that you would not like it to get into.
Who do I give things to?
I'm not saying give. I'm just saying, please don't let it get stolen.
I'm not even sleeping next to you guys. Manny couldn't even steal this.
Manny's not really a good thief.
Have you told that to his face?
Really not.
No, I don't need to.
Do you think he's that good of an assassin either?
He's got some help.
2 for 2.
Help. That
Juan's doing his work.
AKA us. So, thank you.
Really, I'm the mastermind here.
You can do with it what you would will.
Okay.
I
Well, ta-ta.
trust you.
And she like turns down the alley, throws on her hood.
So you're not coming back? I'm kidding.
She'd quickly make the 45-minute trek back. Maybe try and find an alley or a roof spot she could climb to and crouch. And she'd spend actually the night studying the hammer, any runes, any markations.
Take a point of exhaustion.
Yep.
Well, since you're studying it, I won't have you do it. Everybody else, I'm imagining your characters would probably be thinking about Smith and like, oh, that's really fucking weird, and start trying to recall memories with him, like, as you do when a friend dies. I want you guys to each make a history check with disadvantage.
With
Yeah,
disadvantage.
well, I'm trying to. I don't know if history is the right one for it.
Can I do insight?
Insight.
I'll let you guys do insight or history
Something more wise.
at disadvantage.
At disadvantage?
At disadvantage. Grieving
What
process.
about Sal studying the hammer?
Of like trying to recall, because the idea is that you're probably recalling all like good memories with him and like different conversations, cool stuff that happened with him and around. You guys like did travel with him on the road for a week, but did like disadvantage to see if you actually get anything worthy information out of it that like might actually be important.
18.
18 also.
Okay.
8.
You two distinctly remember a conversation you had with him when you guys left him at the tower. You had a conversation with him about essentially mental health. Strictly, you guys asked him, and this is my DM throwing you guys hints of like, these are the things that if you had the notes on would have been nice. You asked him, hey, like, are you gonna be okay? Like, we can check in with you.
Yeah.
You know, I know,
I
like,
kind of remember that.
your family's gone, and his response was pretty inspiring. It was, as far as I know, I'm the last of my people, my kind, my race. I hold the memory of everyone, and so it's my duty to make sure that
that's
history
right.
stays alive.
He wasn't suicidal.
And Sal.
Oh, it's that memory.
Oh my
He
goodness.
reflected that he was sad that his family's gone, and he's going to grieve them, but it's his duty to grieve them, to be able to pass on that knowledge and keep that his culture alive.
Hmm.
So,
How long has he been dead for?
give me a medicine check, Krista. In the past,
Any roles I need to do studying the hammer or anything like that?
give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Any advantage, disadvantage?
24 for medicine.
You would have estimated he died roughly a week ago. Like, probably the night after he was done, like, like he left that tower, the last interaction that he had with the tower, it was probably that night. Or, like, early the next day.
30-20 on the Arcana check.
Yeah, I mean, this thing has a level of like enchantment magic and is a sort of like a smith tool that's designed to not only craft anything you craft with it is going to come out well produced,
Mm-hmm.
but also it is meant to enchant and craft magical items.
Okay.
You can tell there's like some pieces on it that it makes it feel like it's designed to do a lot of different things. Even though it, like at an eye's glance, it just looks like a gilded hammer, like this beautifully carved hammer with like gold inlays and stuff. But you start to like notice twinges of it, like
Any runes?
like on one side there's like the flat hammer side, but it also seems like it could be like shaped to be rounded, and like the point that comes out kind of like a claw.
Mhm.
Like sometimes when you look at it, it looks like it's got the teeth on it, so it could be used to hook things, but also sometimes it looks like it gives you the familiarity that maybe it's like a ring sizer or something that could be used, and it looks like it could be used for a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any runes on it that...
No.
Okay. Speaking. Okay. All right.
Are we crazy? Is it crazy to think Sal's not quite right, but she's maybe not that wrong?
Oh, she's right.
About what specifically? I have this weird feeling that
You're having their exact same conversation, except it's yourself playing out what they're saying.
Yeah.
Somehow it's perfectly lined
No,
up.
I hear them through the window, and I'm like, no, she's right.
It's like you're on the Twindles.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm on the roof across from them, just like peering into the
Reading
window.
my lips across the way.
what do you think Sal's right about?
I don't believe all of the council is corrupt. Hard no.
Well,
Then what's the point of going into a meeting and telling them anything? And you know they're gonna want information.
Well, they sent us to Nyx to take care of that problem. So unless if they're using us to weaken their own forces, I don't think they're all corrupt.
I don't think so either.
But there could be them.
Do we tell them at all that we distrust them? Do we allude to it?
No, because then they will not trust us.
Okay. So just limited information. We do get to talk to them. I'm trying to see. Well, I have raised dead. I thought I had one where we could talk to them.
I've got reincarnate. Which will bring him back, but probably not as an elf.
Was he an elf? Oh yeah, he
Mhm.
was. Well, I have raised dead, so it takes 1 hour touch and a diamond worth at least 500 gold, as long as they haven't been dead for 10 days.
Nobody's talking to the necromancer?
You're
not
not
here.
with us, you a-hole!
Yeah.
Somebody ascending.
I mean, hey, if you were here, we could include you. Well, if we can, let's
Well, and also,
grab a diamond.
if we don't know if a friend can help us, can you, providing she'd be even willing to talk to us right now.
Mhm.
She seemed pretty disappointed in me.
Oh, you saw her again?
I asked her to hold on to something. I would have preferred that it go with Sal, because I know she'll hide it somewhere that nobody else will be able to find it. Whereas our stuff might get looked through.
10.
Well, that's not going to help us, honey.
25.
If you have Boots of Elvenkind, you get advantage.
I don't know if I do. It doesn't say advantage. I guess it would say advantage if I had advantage. Natural 1. So that's an 8.
Yeah. Immediately
Here comes Fenix.
there's a call out. It goes, "You two big folk, what are you doing? I see you. Come out of those shadows." And looking at the two of you,
Yeah.
they don't notice Swift, but can we help you? I mean, I know it's streets, like you're free to walk around your business, but there's kind of an active crime scene going on here, and supposed to be
An active crime scene. What
yeah.
happened?
Well, I'm not at liberty to say, but you two were kind of sneaking around the building trying to be stealthy, and it's a little suspicious.
Well, you just said something's going on.
Well, I'm asking the questions here. So, what's your business? What are you doing?
going for
Can I
a
help
walk.
you?
We're going for a walk.
All right. Well, thanks for the time. Be on your way.
All right.
Okay.
Keep on walking.
Yep. Right past. We'll
Cool.
leave the other two up to it. Should I do another sending and tell them that we totally failed you and I? But it's up to the other two if they want to do anything. No. Swifty definitely saw us. So she knows.
Yeah.
I mean, she was with you. She just like, while you two were like crouch walking through the alleyway, she was scaling the side of the building in the shadows, watching you two
Yeah,
like
we already
stepping
know
on every,
she's
kicking every.
amazing.
Like you guys are kicking every pebble, and she's with you, but she's obviously removed
Not
herself
with you.
from with you.
She's
Like,
better
yeah.
than us.
you guys know she was there and that she was around, but she
Yeah.
also knew
So
well
we're
enough to
just
not be
gonna
next to
keep
you.
walking.
Well, we mostly needed you, Krista, to get up to the body.
Yeah,
so
but
without
here's the
that,
thing: is Sal's actually probably better than I am. So as long as Sal can get there, we're good. I mean, she does this for fun.
I only have animate dead.
Yeah, well, it's still more than.
That's not a revive. That's where he turns his body into a puppet.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't even talk to
It makes
her?
it
No.
useless.
He's gonna make Bob 2.0 out of
Yeah.
Smith.
Okay.
Biff.
Okay.
Sob.
Sob, yeah. That would be Sob.
Well, then I guess this was a wash. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk to the
I
council.
could, can I roll stealth?
Steal a body.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fine.
sure.
Animate the body right on out of there.
Let's see. No, probably not. 12? Okay.
Definitely one of the guards kind of like whistles. to
I'm
the
on the
attention.
rooftops.
Oh,
Like,
hey, can you get down from there? What the hell are you doing? He's like,
Just there's a way.
you can tell he's kind of looking around like, should I go after them? And the other person's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, fucking person on the roof. He's like,
There's no person on the roof.
no, we have to stay here.
Oh,
We got 2 more days.
Particularly, you wanted to do one that day.
you just wanna
Sal
go
sleeps.
Scope out the scene.
Okay, yeah. Take away that point of exhaustion.
Yep.
Take your long rest during the day. You guys?
I want to walk past the scene, but not to where it's evident that I'm walking past the scene.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I
at this
just want
point,
to
there's
scope out.
at this point there's plenty of people that are walking by. It's
Yeah.
you can't stop people. It's a busy street.
And
in town.
actually, I want to disguise self, because we
Okay.
can do that as furbolgs.
Totally fine.
So I want to just look like a cute little
Yep.
elven girl.
Same thing. Pretty decent guard presence outside, around the perimeter of the building.
Oh wait, I get to long rest, right? I get all those spells back.
Right back. You guys decide what you want to do.
I'm really tempted to also disguise myself as a younger female elf and go up to the guards and be like, my papa, I must see him.
what's your charisma?
Bad. Not great. Not great at all. Which, next time I make a character, be a bard or someone charisma based, because even I noticed, like, playing Fizzle, I like those charisma rolls.
Do you?
More than most. Yeah, more than, like, the
Other
strength checks.
things?
Others, yeah, wisdom checks are nice, like perception and insight, but it's like charisma checks.
Well, I
They're
will
fun.
say, I am sorry that I went to the council. It was just in the moment, you know?
Went to the council.
About this.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I mean, we're going to be meeting with them and I guess giving them minimal information. And
I just feel bad. Because I know, once again, Sal's probably disappointed in me.
yeah, I think she's disappointed in everyone. So
True.
don't be too hard on yourself.
So, are we gonna just take the next few days and wait it out? Or. I mean, why have none of them thought about raising him from the dead? Or.
Speak with Dad, or you'd think they'd have a cleric on staff for that.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why Terrace was itching to get to the body.
First.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
So when we talk to the council, they can ask us. We should have the right to ask them questions.
And we don't give them any information that they don't ask about.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we're very limited even on our answers. Just the facts that they probably would have gotten from anybody.
There's nothing else I really plan to do for the day. Just hang out, enjoy some tea.
Did you need to go shopping? You mentioned it.
No, not really.
Okay. I would hate to have kept you from shopping.
Well, no, you said you wanted a new purse.
No, I have one, but thank you.
Oh, you said the other day you needed a bag to hold your stuff.
Yes. And I have one. I found it in my things.
Oh, good. Oh, great. Okay, well, if you don't, I'm not going to go shopping, but yeah,
Okay.
you're more than welcome to.
Oh no, we're good. I think we're just gonna.
Days pass.
Day passes. The next day, when you guys wake up, Gregory and Susan have already made breakfast, made tea, and as you guys come down to eat food, or come out to eat food, there you guys are. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a letter for you, dearies. There was an individual, his name was Terrace. He came by about 3 in the morning, and wanted to drop it off. Something about an important, like exclusive meeting with you guys. They had some questions for you. They didn't say what it was for, what it was about, but they wanted to talk to you as soon as possible.
Well, yeah, if it's a letter, open it up and share it with them outside the ears of the gnomes.
Cool. Yeah, it's just emergency meeting. Like to discuss with you regarding Smith. Please come to the tower ASAP.
Do you want to send anything to Terrace to let him know we're on our way, or should we just show
no,
up?
but I will do a sending to our friend who has been hiding. So.
Would I have seen Terrace come and go? Heard him?
No.
At 3 a.m. No, not if you're.
Unless you were
alone.
staying up again for another night.
Mm-hmm. I would have been sleeping during the day.
You slept during the day.
Mhm.
That was your long rest. You caught up from exhaustion.
Yeah.
Then you were up for a couple hours, and then that next night came. Are you gonna sleep during that night, or
No, I would have stayed up.
You would have stayed up.
Yeah, watching night. That's mostly what I'm.
Okay, so yeah, you would have actually saw Terrace come in
Okay. All right.
at 3 a.m. Yeah.
Was he with anybody?
No, just himself.
Hmm.
You will take a point of exhaustion going into this
Yeah.
day.
I would be asleep when you send this. As soon as daylight hits is when
Yeah.
I'd be passing out.
Were you doing anything during that night?
No.
Like any more studying or anything?
No.
Okay.
I'd just be on
On guard
extended
duty.
guard duty without telling the party that that's what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I'll use a sending. Be like, good morning, sunshine to the council, early session, special session, if you would like to join.
Can you hear us ending if you're asleep?
I imagine it wakes you up. A good 5, like, I was gonna say, it'd be a good, like,
It's
couple
actually probably
hours,
my
like
peppiest voice that I
2
can come up
hours
with.
into your sleep, like you had just felt like you just fell asleep, and then suddenly like, hello.
Yeah, in my peppiest voice.
She's not gonna respond. She's not. She like throws her hood back on. Tries to close her eyes for a little bit.
Okay.
Waits to keeps an ear open.
For them to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You don't get a response.
It is not surprising.
Well, I guess we just gotta go without her.
Yep, let's go.
Give me a perception check. The only reason I'm making you check is because you are exhausted.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. You don't hear them leave.
Okay. I'd
In fact,
assume I'd fall
you fall asleep.
Yeah. Great. Can I long rest?
Yeah. Take your long rest. Get out.
Good luck at the meeting, y'all.
Thanks.
Damn it!
Okay,
Oh,
you guys head to
Lana.
the tower.
Yes.
You enter the tower. You see him before he sees you. Terrace is in the back area, just like pacing back and forth, just like. Finally looks up, sees you guys. It like runs over. Good to see you guys. Come with me right away.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Yep. This is all of us.
Other person's not coming.
Yep. She's not coming.
Yeah. She decided to
alright.
sleep in today.
Well,
You don't know that.
No, but that's the excuse that
depending
I would give
on
him no matter what.
depending on how this meeting goes, we might need her opinion on it as well. So I'll have to trust you to relay that message after the fact.
Sure thing.
Deal.
He leads you through a couple of portals, familiar areas, familiar rooms, before you end up at the front or at the door of that similar council room where you guys had your last council meeting. Entering in, it is sitting at the far end of the table, the familiar Mida, the Archmage of the tower. There are a couple clergymen and a couple guardsmen and a well-dressed kind of charlatan-esque, probably some sort of investigator there as well. Come on in, sit down. You guys sit down, and first the charlatan guy kind of says up and goes, well, like I said to Mita in private, now officially to all of you, according to our investigation, we did not find any evidence of foul play. The scarring on the body matches that of the edge of the blade found in his hand. Everything seems to match up, and I have not found any particular reason to rule this anything other than a suicide. The clergymen stand up. We did attempt to resuscitate the body. The spell failed, which means one of two things. Either the soul was unable to answer or it did not wish to answer, which, if it did not want to return, could line up with suicide. Would defeat the purpose, of course. So we have no objections. The guardsman is like, we didn't find any damage to the property. Didn't seem like anything was out of the ordinary. Couple weird passerbyers throughout the nights, but for the most part,
They don't
seem like-
recognize us.
didn't seem like anybody was trying to. This is not the same guard
Oh,
that
okay.
talked to you. This is like some higher up guard who's repeating what he was told. Didn't seem like anybody was overtly interested in it or trying to spy on it.
Can I do an insight check on all three?
Sure.
All right. So first one was the
charlatan investigator who said
charlatan. 26.
Even with the name charlatan, don't get it.
It was charlatan asked like how he's dressed in like nicer clothes.
26, 20, and a 22.
Yeah,
Wow.
all of them are speaking the truth. It seems that they believe what they're saying.
Do they seem like they have been manipulated in any way?
Not to your knowledge.
Yeah,
They don't seem like they seem
full
genuine and truthful. They don't seem like they're underhanding. They don't seem like they're just like they seem like they're just bluffing, like they don't know what they're talking about, but they're trying to pass it off as yeah, sure. And they don't seem like they're like purposely lying or like they were bribed or anything. You don't get any of that. You get genuine truth. This is like they mean what they say and they believe it. Mita doesn't stand up, but then she goes, well, I called you all here so that way you could hear this news at the same time as the rest of the rest of the members here.
Still don't know how much I believe it, but
By
I'm hearing it.
by the accounts of our skilled individuals, it seems that suicide does match the case. But of course, the reason I asked you to come instead of waiting for the council meeting is if you had any other information, or do you have any reason to suspect that it might not be? I mean, you guys, well, we spent more time talking to him, but it was more just questions of information. We didn't really get to know him personally, and you guys might have. Do you have reason to believe one way or another that it was or wasn't a suicide?
Last we spoke with him, with Smith, he seemed like he had a clear purpose to serve and to live. We checked his mental health before we left, and he seemed like he he was in a good spot. He didn't seem off. He didn't seem like he would cause any self-harm. He obviously missed his family, but seemed like he found a higher calling. So for us, it doesn't seem like it's enough closure to just
And you guys
hear.
all in 100% agreement about this? This is, you guys believe that he wouldn't have committed suicide?
I believe he wouldn't have.
You guys are adjourned. Thank you. Taris, I need you to get the one from Port Novus, get the clergymen from Lakefront. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do it right.
Could I do it? It might mean more from us.
Sure. Yeah. If you would like to try the, do you know Revivify Magic?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. We actually have the body in a separate room here. We moved it out of the house after the investigation ended. We were gonna release it to you anyways. Not of course, not now. But we're going to repeat the investigation, hopefully with fresh eyes and better individuals. No offense. And he goes, no offense at all, Miss Vita. Of course, I do know who you're talking about, and he's my hero. In fact, I would, if it's okay with you, I'd love to apprentice under him, a study. And she goes, it'll have to be another time. We want fresh eyes, which means we can't have anybody else involved in the investigation. He needs a fresh look, and he can't have any influence. And he goes, oh, of course, I understand. Well, if he's still around after the investigation, I'd love to talk to him. And she goes, enough. You can go now. And he goes, okay. He leaves. Thank you. Taris, will you lead them to the body? Here, and she reaches into her robe and pulls out a large diamond and goes, I think you'll need this, and passes it over to you.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to do sending one more time
Okay.
to Sal.
Wakes you up.
Sal, we're gonna go try to revivify Smith's body. With Council's permission, would you like to join?
No.
Okay.
One more thing before you guys go. Since we're reopening the investigation, this is going to be all hands on deck for us. We will be postponing the council meeting for another week.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you for your input. Again, we value it. You knew Smith probably better than anybody, so we're going to make sure we do this right.
Is somebody on hand that can communicate?
Heads out. You guys are led to a different room where there is Smith's body laid out on a table. He has a kind of white sheet laid over his body. As you can tell, somebody obviously went in and did an autopsy, a physical autopsy on the body, probably underneath.
I don't know if that'll affect it, but
Nope.
okay. Manny, I'm not sure if I'm ready to do this.
Alright, let's see if Smith is willing to talk with us.
We're hoping Smith is willing to come back to us. There's a difference. Okay. Damn it. I wish I had. I'm going to use my 5th level Raise Dead. symbol.
Yeah. You are coming up on the 10th day. So
Yeah.
this is...
I'm
I mean,
gonna
this is
hold
like day
his
9.
hand, whatever there is of a hand, but also be kind of touching his hair and his head. And I am not scared. Like, it does not worry me or disgust me.
I'm gonna press to digitate. Psych. I don't have that skill. I'm gonna druid craft and make it smell a little bit nicer.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not decayed to the point that, like, it's misshapen. Because if that was the case, like, if his head had melted away, raised head wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And, like, while they did an autopsy, they did intentionally leave things how they're supposed to be, so that
Yeah.
way these spells could work. Like, they're very acutely aware of the spells that can be used to revive dead.
Oh, it is snowing out there.
And so how they handled the investigation was in regards to
Yeah.
that.
I read that too.
Cast
about
the
mortal
spell, and it
wounds.
takes an hour.
And the whole time it's touching here,
Yep.
touching him, whispering.
Reaching out, you don't feel rejected. You feel like you're reaching into a void of emptiness. There's nothing there, and the spell fails. You don't feel a sense of rejection. You don't feel a pushback. You feel like you're grasping at air, and you can't find anything to grab onto, and the spell fails.
It seems like he does not want to come back to us.
I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I know that
Me too.
the spell will fail, whether his soul is not willing or is blocked from doing so, and I know there's, people may get the sense of one way or another, but it's never, there's no way to confirm it for sure, but
Yeah.
you have to trust your gut, and I'm sorry, but of course we will still continue with the investigation as planned. Hopefully physical clues will be able to find the answers for us.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry. Distracted. Yeah. In Manny's head
Mhm.
and in there was no soul. None. Completely void. Do with that what you will.
God.
Grandma.
Stop it.
Just so you're aware, this is going on the 10th day. After today, revivify spells won't even be able to be cast.
Yes.
So our mortician will be preparing the body with embalming fluid to protect it from any further decay. They will also use...
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say there's magic spells that will help this temporarily as well that we've been using to prevent further decay temporarily. But at this point, the idea of bringing him back from the dead is given up. I mean, I can't imagine anything short of a wish from doing it, and there's nobody that's going to have access to that. Maybe someone out there. I don't know. Once the investigation is closed, the body will be released to you, and then you'll be able to do with it what you need. If that's it, best of luck and my sincere condolences.
Thank you.
Oh, we tried.
We did. Eventually I'll try harder for others. Okay.
Guess we'll go back to the gnome's house.
Yes, please. She spends the whole afternoon just crying.
Okay.
watches through the window.
Oh, yeah. I'll leave Phoenix be for a
Yeah.
few hours.
Yeah, you guys can take the day to do whatever you want. The council meeting has been postponed for at least a week. So if there's things that you guys would like to do, you feel free to set out and do them. However, we are going to go ahead and end the session there.
Okay.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully with some more answers. Hopefully with some goals in mind of what we want to do in that week. And yeah, that's about it.